All right, good evening and welcome to Saturday Night Football right here live at Todd Stadium on WPNB Channel 47 on the Newport News School System channel. Tonight's matchup between the Heritage Hurricanes and the Hampton Crabbers. I'm your host, Greg Bicaveras, and joining me in the booth tonight are Nate Milton, Ted Moyler, and Sean Cooper. And Nate, when you talk about this game, they're both 4-0. Listen, the action is ready to start right now.
Absolutely, Greg. This is like a prize fight atmosphere, like a heavyweight championship. You got the number 2 team in the state, the Hampton Crabbers, taking on the number 7 team in the state, the Heritage Hurricanes, right here at Todd Stadium. It's going to be a great matchup. Like you said, Greg, both teams are undefeated, unscored upon. We're going to see tonight who is the best of the best, and we're going to see a great matchup tonight.
Heritage is wearing the red uniforms there at home. Of course, Hampton wearing the white. Heritage, of course, and this is Nate Milton. Of course, Ted Moyler will be joining us throughout the telecast tonight right here on Channel 47. We'll be having sideline interviews as well throughout the telecast. We're about ready for kickoff just to begin in just a moment, Nate. And right now, let's let the action begin, huh?
Absolutely. The time for talk is over. We're about to see who is the best team right here tonight.
All right, the referees for tonight's ball game, they are Bill Dozier, George Adamowski, Mickey Hartzheim, Mike Jersega, Pete Smith, and Dan Reckendorf. Hampton comes in the ball game 4-0, ranked number 2 in the state, while Heritage is also 4-0, ranked number 7 in the state.
Absolutely. You got two great teams. Heritage has the number 1 offense and the number 1 defense in the Peninsula District. Hampton is number 3 offense and the number 2 defense. It's going to be a great matchup. Two great coaches, Quillen versus Smith. We're going to see tonight who is the top team in the Peninsula District.
And we're about ready for kickoff. The Hurricanes kicking off to the Crabbers. And Hampton will take it right there at the 20-yard line. And the Crabbers right there, taken by number 22, Alexander Mann. Hampton will be wearing the white and the red. They'll be going right to left. And Heritage will be wearing the maroon and silver. Nate, just underway. Hampton leads the series 4-1.
Well, I think one of the keys for Hampton tonight is they've got to really attack Jay Cook. He's the one weak link, if you can say Heritage has a weak link, but he's the most inexperienced player out there. Still a great athlete, but if Hampton's going to get it done, they've got to attack Cook.
Hampton right there, Carlos Campbell, the quarterback, number 7 in the white uniforms. He's running the ball in the first play, and he's tackled right there by number 9 for the Hurricanes, Rudolph Floyd. Good defense to start things off for Heritage. They want to get their composure, let things settle down. They know it's a big game, but they got a regular. It's 48 minutes. It's for 4 quarters.
That's absolutely right. Both of these teams are coming in. They got to set the tone. Hampton has to come out here. If they can get a score early on, that kind of sets the tone for this game. But if Heritage gets a defensive stop, this crowd is going to go wild. You're just going to see a lot of excitement coming out after that.
Mike Smith, of course, the head football coach in Hampton. John Quillen for Heritage. 11-22. We're just underway in the first quarter. No score. Bad snap right there. Campbell trying to get it, and we'll see what the referees say. It'll be Hampton football. Lucky break for the Crabbers.
Lucky break for Hampton right there. A little lapse in the concentration, the focus you were talking about earlier, Greg. But Hampton can't afford to make any mistakes in this game. They've got to stay focused.
I think one thing, too, Nate, you talk about the tradition, the coaching staff. There's the instant replay right there. Instant replay coming up, and this is a bad snap.
Right there, just a bad snap over his head, and Campbell does a great job to get back and fall on it and keep possession, but, they've got to cut down those mistakes. Neither team can afford to make any really foolish mistakes against these tough opponents tonight.
You're watching it live right here on Channel 47, the September 30th, 2000. Glad you're with us. Campbell going back to pass, improvising, running, and stopped cold by number 3 for Heritage, Landon Smith. Nice tackle, bring up a 4th down situation.
That's a great job by Landon Smith. Good defensive series, setting the tone. We're going to see a replay on this, but that was just an excellent stop. And what effect do you think this is going to have on the team, Ted?
Well, the keys tonight for both of these teams is defense, and that's just the bottom line, because defense wins championships and defense wins games.
Right there, the defense you're talking about, Ted. Right there, number 3, Landon Smith, coming up with a crucial stop, and that causes a punting situation.
And a bad punt by Carlos Campbell, number 7, but it gets a good roll all the way down to about the 40-yard line. That's where Heritage will have the football. Heritage, their coaching staff, of course, John Quillen in his 2nd year, and John is 14-2 overall after going 10-2 last year. They defeated Phoebus last week 37-0. In that game, Larry Davis, number 7, you'll be seeing him now on offense. He had 5 catches for 141 yards.
That was a huge game for Heritage. A lot of people thought going into that game that Phoebus was going to take, and Heritage came out and made a statement, and that's what made this game tonight so big. You got the two top teams in the district.
Heritage right now with the football, averaging 53 points a game on offense. Jason Cook, number 10, the quarterback. Gary Stevens in motion, number 6. Keeping on the ground, the first play, there's Mike Johnson. And Mike bulldozes all the way to the 48-yard line before being stopped by number 77, Leonard Johnson for the Crabbers.
Well, Heritage has so many weapons. We mentioned that in the pregame, Greg. Mike Johnson, the second leading rusher in the district with 11 touchdowns. Corey Rouser, the fifth leading rusher with 5 touchdowns. And Jason Cook, the second leading passer. Great offensive team.
There's a Tower Cam shop, our great video production staff, our great friends at Domino's Pizza. Give them a call, folks. Enjoy a pizza at 595-3030 with the game. 2nd and 2, a gain of 8 by Mike Johnson right there. In motion for the Crabbers is our wide tackle 6 defense. And a nice stop once again by number 77 for Hampton, Leonard Johnson. And there's here a nice Domino's Pizza at 595-3030. Keeping on the ground right there was Heritage, number 1. That was Corey Rouser. Give them a call, Nate, if you're hungry for some pizza, huh?
Absolutely. This is a great atmosphere. If you're home watching this great game, go out and get yourself a pizza. It's the perfect evening. But you got right now the terrific 1-2 punch. Corey Rouser, the strength back, just running between the tackles. And Mike Johnson, the quick guy, can scoot out to the outside and give you some great cuts. They have a nice 1-2 offense, and this guy, Jay Cook, is the guy that's making it happen. He's got to step up and be a leader tonight.
9 minutes left, no score. Hampton on defense, Heritage on offense. Heritage going left to right, wearing the all-maroon silver helmets. Head coach, of course, John Quillen. Assistants are Deion Ruffin, Dwight Robinson, Sean Redd, Bernie West, Paul Macklin, the brother of David Macklin that went to Menchville, Andrew Gregory, and Colin Brinkley. Athletic directors George Walters and Al Furley, respectively. Cook in the air, complete right there to his main target, number 7, Larry Davis.
Excellent look right there. Was almost picked off, but just a nice completion. And Larry Davis is going to be one of the keys to this team, the leading scorer in the district.
Instant replay coming up. There's a nice crisp pass right there, but that's one thing, Nate, you mentioned. Jason Cook still vulnerable because that was almost an interception by number 42, Terry Gray.
Exactly. Cook got to play smart in this game tonight.
Heritage right now going with that veer offense. Hampton countering with that wide tackle 6 defense. Jason Cook replacing Foster Brothers from a year ago. Keeping it on the ground, nice run by Corey Rouser. A stop on the play by Terry Gray. And right now, Ted, Heritage is keeping him on the ground.
Yes, time of possession is going to play a big role in tonight's game because both of these teams can score.
Instant replay coming up. With 8:01 left in quarter number 1, no score. Hampton coaching staff, there is Mike Smith, the legend. His record is 3-16, 41-2 since the head coach since 1971. Heritage keeping it on the ground. There's a nice run right there by number 1, Corey Rouser. And Nate, you talk about the core 4. The core 4 for Heritage is Corey Rouser, Michael Johnson, Jason Cook, and of course their center, Sean Atwood. Instant replay coming up. Here's the replay.
Well, you're absolutely right, Greg. The core 4 are doing a great job, and as we're going to see on this play right here, they've got to really, they're trying to establish something on the ground, running the ball, and there you go, straight up the gut with Corey Rouser. Almost broke it for a long gain right there, but they're dictating the play so far early on in this first period.
2nd and 3, once again, on the option, that was Cook. Stopped on the play by the Crabbers, and that was number 33 for Hampton, Mac Jones. Big crowd on hand tonight, big crowd on TV. Glad you're with us for our 10th year of Peninsula District Football right here on Channel 47, Saturday night style, right here live on TV. We've had some classic matchups over the year, Nate. You talk about the 93 game with Menchville defeating Hampton, 13-7 back in 95. Hampton getting over Ferguson 27-14 in homecoming, Ferguson's final year. 1997. Let's take a look at the academic stars. 1997 was Hampton 34-16 over Warwick in a game that featured Ronald Curry and Michael Vick. Let's take a look at those academic stars. Bring up 3rd and 1. Also last year, Heritage defeating Warwick 33-30, a game you saw right here on Channel 47, and also Warwick defeating Woodside 19-16 from a year ago. So we've had really several great matchups over the year. This is just another one in that long list, Nate.
Always a good debate.
Always a big event when Hampton comes to town.
7:03 left in quarter number 1. 3rd and 1 for John Quillen's team. Of course, he was the head coach of the Peninsula Poseidons. And the stop on the play was by number 12, Nolan Cutler. Good run there by Cook to get the first down. And our academic stars. Okay. Sean Atwood for Heritage, and athletic star Michael Johnson, the running back for the Hurricanes as well. Michael Johnson of the year, Nate, 457 yards rushing prior to tonight's game.
Michael Johnson with 14 all-purpose touchdowns. He's just one of the great players for this Heritage team.
Heritage penalty flag right there. And it's good that the referees are just letting these two teams, these powerhouses, just play the game tonight.
Exactly. You want the guys on the field to decide the outcome and not the guys in the stripes.
The legal procedure on Heritage, academic star for the Crabbers. And the athletic star. You see the referee right there, Bill Dozier. Mac Jones and Carlos Campbell, the running back, 4-year starter, number 33, and Carlos Campbell, number 7, going both ways, even playing punter on special teams, the athletic star. Thank you, and our video production staff. 1st and 15 right now. Number 6 in motion, Gary Stevens. Heritage has the football going the left to right. Back to pass is Cook. Incomplete, intended for Larry Davis. Good coverage right there by Carlos Campbell, Nate.
Good coverage, but also a little bit of indecisiveness by Jay Cook. We mentioned he's got to be the key. He's got to step up and have the game of his life tonight. Just a tinge of hesitation right there, and Larry Davis was not able to catch that one.
Instant replay coming up. That's one good thing Hampton's got to do is put pressure on Jason Cook. They did right there.
Absolutely. All right, well, you see right there is Stevens in motion. Cook looking, and he's got his eyes trained on Larry Davis the entire time. Unfortunately, just overthrows him.
And there's a run by Michael Johnson. Michael Johnson going through the Crabbers, stopped on the play by number 5, James Williams. Heritage, of course, Nate, they got 8 of their 10 games here at Todd Stadium. They're averaging 53 points a game on offense. Just some blitz teams this year, not giving up 1 point on defense. Started off defeating Cox 53-0. Then Menchville, a game you saw here in Channel 47, 66-0. Got by Denby 59-0. In Phoebus last week, 37-0 with 5:33 left. No score. Heritage has the ball. Big third down situation. Big play here in the third quarter. Heritage in that veer offense. Cook's got time. Oh, almost intercepted in and out of the hands of number 11 for the Crabbers, Joseph Smith, who's also the backup quarterback.
Very fortunate because Joe Smith had nothing but green in front of him. He would have taken that one back for 6. But now Heritage has to still come out here and complete this field goal attempt and get some points out of this series.
Joe Smith, a transfer from Kickingham, can run, can throw, can do it all. Jimmy Williams, also the number 2 quarterback for Hampton, behind Carlos Campbell. 4th and 12. John Quillen going for it, Nate. Interesting call, but one good thing is they're deep in Hampton's territory at the 26.
Gutsy call by Coach Quillen.
Definitely, with Hampton using that wide tackle 6 defense. And incomplete, and that gutsy call did not pay off. In and out of the hands of Corey Rouser. And Nate, that's one thing. You go for 4th downs against some teams, but against Hampton, that sometimes could come back to haunt you.
Well, that actually was a very well-scripted play. Unfortunately, Rouser couldn't come down with it. But as you mentioned earlier, the benefit is that Hampton does not have that great field position.
Instant replay coming up. There's the pass. A little behind him, Nate.
A little bit behind him. Once again, the inexperience of Jay Cook. But you can see that if Rouser had caught that, he would have had not very far to go for the first down. But now, as you mentioned, Hampton deep in their own territory, so it'll be interesting to see what the Crabbers come out with.
All right, 5:11 left in quarter number 1. Both teams, Hampton averaging 30 points a game. Hampton right now using that multiple eye offense. Carlos Campbell, the quarterback, timeout. I want to thank our great people in the truck tonight, Paul Cummings, video production staff, Ray Price, Bill Barlow, Dave Underwood, Greg Swan, all the great students. Our good friends at Domino's Pizza. It's another classic matchup, a community-style event. It's wall-to-wall. The crowd's really big, and just a huge event going on tonight. We're so glad you can be with us live on Channel 47. You talk about Heritage's rise, Nate. Back in '96, they were 2-8. As you see them right there. '97, they were 4-6. 2 years ago, when they beat Hampton 14-8 in 5 overtimes, they were 9-1. 1999, they were 10-2, 29-17 overall coming to tonight's ball game.
Well, this is a huge stepping stone in the history of Heritage football. It kind of reminds me of the Sweepy Whitaker, Julio Cesar Chavez matchup back in '92 when Sweepy was the up-and-comer and Chavez had the history behind him. Sweepy went out there, did his job, and established himself. Then you see Coach Quillen with the win tonight. This Heritage team could establish a legacy.
Coach Quillen, the third coach in Heritage's only 5 years. He was born in New Orleans. His son, Javon Quillen, plays for James Madison, where he's a junior. Hampton's got the football, and keeping the ground right there is number 44 for the Crabbers, Daryl Fenner. Hampton's got, Nate, 1 freshman, 14 sophomores, 20 juniors, 15 seniors. The key is 14 sophomores, 20 juniors. We talk about developing young talent.
Exactly. This might be the most inexperienced Hampton team we've seen in a while. And, you know, that's why you haven't seen sort of the explosive Hampton team. They barely got by a Denby team a couple weeks back, but this is still a quality football team. It'll be interesting to see how these guys handle this big hype in the atmosphere tonight.
They're only leading Denby 2-0 at halftime. 4:30, no score, left in the first quarter. Hampton's got the football going right to left, wearing the white shirts and the red and white pants. Nice stop on the play. Quarterback sack by number 55, Maurice Crowley. Heritage, on the other hand, Nate, no freshmen, only 2 sophomores, 18 juniors, 19 seniors. Instant replay coming up with the capacity crowd.
As you mentioned, the experience coming into play right now. We're going to see number 55, Maurice Crowley, come in. It's the big stop on Carlos Campbell, and the defense could be the thing that turns the tide in this game tonight.
Both teams really haven't got their offense going so far, Nate.
Absolutely. It's going to come down to who can score first and then who can hold that lead.
Mike Smith used to these type games. He's won 11 state championships. His first state championship he won was back in 1975. Hampton's won 15 overall, going back to 1936. 3 minutes, 40 seconds left in quarter number 1. 3rd and 10 right now for the Crabbers. Carlos Campbell in the shotgun, going right to left. Campbell has trouble bobbling it, and the pass is complete. Nice catch right there by number 2, Derek Fenner, and he goes out of bounds.
Nice athletic leap right there over the Heritage bench, but that was just a great defensive play right there by Heritage. They saw the screen pass, of course, you mentioned the kind of fumbled snap, the missed snap right there, and what a great job by Heritage to pick up on the screen and chase him out of bounds.
Instant replay coming up.
Right there you saw the mishandled snap, and right there he had a path for a minute, but then that Heritage defense swarmed on him. The Hurricanes came with the storm, and they chased him out of bounds, and right there you see the athletic leap going over the bench.
Man, I'm still waiting for Hampton to use Mac Jones. He's number 33, a 4-year starter. Had 1,055 yards rushing last year, only 166 this year, but he's a threat. The punt by Carlos Campbell. A wobbly punt at the 40. That's where Heritage will have the football. Now, you talk about nobody really picked Heritage to do this well. They lost players, of course, like Foster Broadus and Kente Blunt and Eric Sidney, and they've had players in the past like Chris Williams, Antonio Mayfield, but this team is just off to a great roll.
Exactly. I thought the loss to the Killer Bees, Broadus and Blunt, would make this team kind of average, kind of ordinary, and Warwick would step up and take that mantle. Warwick's done a good job this year, but Heritage has come out and surprised a lot of people. And with the victory tonight, they put themselves in the top spot, heading, looking for playoff position as the season goes on.
Sean Atwood, the center, the academic star. 3:16 left in quarter number 1, no score. We have a defensive game so far. And Michael Johnson's trying to change that, goes to the 50. Nice run by the junior, stopped on the play by number 42, Terry Gray. Michael Johnson's one of the best running backs I've seen pretty much since Bobby Stabler at Menchville and Newport News.
Exactly.
Instant replay coming up, Nate. Jason Cook, of course, the quarterback. Bring up 2nd and 1, a gain of 9 right there by Michael Johnson. 2:45 left in quarter number 1. Heritage going left to right on the TV dial. Glad you're with us from John B. Todd Field. Johnson across the 50, and Michael Johnson was stopped right there by the Hampton Crabbers. Number 55, and that was Christopher Perry. And bring up 2:25 left here in quarter number 1. Heritage trying to use that Beer offense, Hampton counting with that wide tackle 6. Hampton ranked 14th by the USA Today national polls, ranked number 2 in the state. And the Hurricanes keeping on the ground right there by number 1, Corey Rouser. For the Hurricanes. Capacity crowd here at Channel 47. At John B. Todd Field, instant replay coming up this last day of September.
There you see right there, straight up the middle. Number 2, Michael Johnson. He's the leading rusher, the leading touchdown scorer on this team as well with 14, 11 coming by way of ground and 3 catches for touchdown. But he's just an offensive threat, and you got to defend against him.
What an event in Newport News tonight. A huge crowd on hand tonight. This place is packed. 2nd and 7 right now for the Hurricanes. No score. 1:25 left. Pass up the middle is complete. Wide open right there for the Heritage Hurricanes is a nice catch by number 11, Daryl Blackstock. Nate, he was a big-time receiver a year ago. He makes the first big play of the game tonight.
That was a huge play right there by Daryl Blackstock. You got to give credit to Jay Cook. He sold the fake very well. Everybody keyed up on the run, and he went out there and Blackstock caught it.
There's a tower, nice shot right there. Instant replay coming up. With 1 minute and 10 seconds left. Cook had time, and he did well.
Right there, great play action to Corey Rouser, and then just a nice move, toss out to number 11, Daryl Blackstock, and Hampton has got to wrap that guy up. He's dangerous.
Mike Johnson on the outside, 1st and goal, touchdown, Heritage. Heritage scores the first 6 points of the ball game with 57 seconds left. Good run to the outside corner.
Absolutely, Heritage draws first blood, and with the way these 2 teams play defense, every point counts.
Well, you know how they got that touchdown. It all goes back to Jason Cook connecting to Daryl Blackstock, and it all goes back to the line of scrimmage. Heritage offensive line was able to protect, Jason Cook, so he was able to get that ball to Daryl Blackstock.
And Heritage jumps off to a quick 6-0 lead in the first quarter. The kick is up, and it is good.
Absolutely, great job right there by the Heritage special teams. Heritage striking first blood, and that's going to really get the crowd into this, and they're going to just feed off the adrenaline of this crowd. Hampton's got to shake that off. This is the first time Hampton's been scored against all season long, and Hampton's got to shake that off and just come back and not let it get into their mind.
And Landon Smith's kick was good, the extra point. There you see the big crowd on hand tonight. 57 seconds left in quarter number 1. Heritage off to a 7-0 lead on that 6-yard run by Mike Johnson. I was impressed by the poise right there, too, of the quarterback, number 10, Jason Cook, in by far his biggest game of his career.
Absolutely. Jason Cook showed us a lot on that series.
He's the one Hampton's trying to put pressure on tonight. That wide tackle 6 defense. Mike Smith knows this game could definitely hurt a loss with the Division 5 being so competitive with Warwick and Phoebus. And there's a run by the Crabbers. Number 2, not much running room by Derek Fenner. Good stop in the play by number 44, Dion Witherspoon for the Hurricanes.
Great job on special teams. You can see the emotion just feeding through the Hurricanes right now. They've scored on the Crabbers. The defense is working. The special teams is working. They just got to keep this momentum going.
Instant replay coming up right here on Channel 47. Glad you're with us. 7-0 in favor of Heritage. Mike Smith, of course, his team is 4-0 overall, 3-0 in the district. Lost in the state semis last year, 20-17 to Culpeper. Won the state championship back in 1998. 4 years in a row in the 90s, 95, 96, 97, 98. Bad snap, Campbell takes it. He's got some daylight. He's across to the 30-yard line before being stopped on play by number 11, Daryl Blackstock.
Nice job right there by Carlos Campbell. The snap, as you mentioned, Greg, was a little high. They've had problems with that all evening so far. That's one of the things. The little things count in this game. But it was just a nice draw, and Campbell took it up. He's got to come up and step up and respond for this Hampton Crabbers team. They've got to come back now.
Instant replay coming up. See the Hampton Crabbers right there, the white and red uniforms.
Well, right there you see the kickoff after the touchdown. You see the Heritage Hurricanes swarm down. Good job by the special teams on the play right there.
20 seconds left in quarter number 1. Heritage got the ball, 1st and 10 on that nice run by Carlos Campbell, the senior. Campbell, the athletic star of the game tonight. Going deep. That's what Mike Smith has done over the years. Incomplete, intended for number 2, Derek Fenner. One thing Mike Smith's teams have all done over the years, you go back to the 80s with their great quarterbacks of Marco Stacy or Eric Hunter. Jimbo Taylor, incomplete pass, or John Logeman. Ronald Curry, Marcus Hagans. He's always had that deep threat, and that was a good example right there. Hagans has got, an arm last year, but Carlos Campbell has proven he's got a good arm tonight too. Instant replay coming up. Let's take a look at that replay with 9 seconds left in the quarter.
And you see, you just talked about it, Carlos Campbell. Nice spiral right there, good to arm. But you see number 20 coming in your screen right there, Raymond Stiff. Good job defensively, nice coverage on his man.
Incomplete, brings up 2nd and 10. Hampton on that multiply offense. Heritage counting off of that 4-4 defense by the Hurricanes and John Quillen. Once again, trying to do what Woodrow Dantzler does at Clemson. Not much running room there by Campbell. Good stop on the play by the Hurricanes. And that's the end of the first quarter. With the score, it is the home Heritage Hurricanes 7 and the visiting Hampton Crabbers nothing. Let's go down to an interview with Sean Cooper.
This is Sean Cooper reporting for Channel 47. There's a new fashion statement going on around Heritage High School. They're called woo-woo towels. And here to explain the woo-woo towels are Mr. Mitnick, the Magnet Director of Heritage High School. What exactly is the woo-woo towel?
Thanks a lot, Sean. Woo-woo towel started out as a fundraiser from some of our special ed students in Miss Kim Diverter's class. She asked me to advertise them on the morning announcements, but she wanted me to go woo, 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 woo. Well, that's just not me. I can't do it. So I went woo, woo instead. And so we have a woo-woo towel.
Now, how could I go about getting a woo-woo towel, Mr. Mitnick?
Well, first you have to be a Heritage student or a parent of a Heritage student, and you place an order with our special ed students up in room 202 at Heritage High School. Mr. Vetters, this is for you. I'd like to say hi. I know you're homesick, waiting for that baby to be born, but this woo-woo is for you. Woo-woo.
Well, to everybody in the van, woo-woo. Back to you, Greg.
Nice. All right, nice job, Sean, right there. 7-0 right now is the score. Hampton Crabbers trailing it. 3rd and 10. Big play for Mike Smith's team. Mike Smith in his 30th year as head coach of the Hampton Crabbers. Been in this situation before. Campbell in trouble, and he's sacked. Heritage defense doing a great job on Carlos Campbell tonight.
Nice job right there, number 11, Daryl Blackstock. Not just an offensive threat, goes in, has a nice play, and can you say woo-woo to that? Just a great job getting these fans into this game.
Instant replay coming up by a great video production staff. Huge crowd on hand tonight. Campbell right there from the shotgun, Nate.
And Blackstock, nobody's even guarding Blackstock, just comes in and blindsides Campbell. Just a great job.
Gets that blitz. 11:28 left in quarter number 2. Campbell back to punt. You want Ronald Curry to pass, defend, and punt. Nice punt, though, by Campbell. Decent roll to about the 32-yard line. Nice punt and roll right there by the Crabbers. We'll see if they can capitalize on defense.
Exactly. Hampton has to come out with a good defensive stance so they can get that ball back and get it in the hands of Carlos Campbell to do some things on the offense.
Of course, Derek Fenner, he had 5 interceptions for Hampton a year ago. We'll see if he's wearing number 2. Of course, Carlos Campbell, he's wearing number 7. Keep an eye on them on defense, going both ways tonight. Hampton ranked number 2 in the state, 14th in the National USA Today poll, high school poll. Campbell had 9 interceptions a year ago. Played for Phoebus and Bill D in 97-98. On the option, Cook runs right there to the 40 before being stopped in the play by number 33, Mac Jones.
Well, Mac Jones being looked at by Tennessee, University of Virginia, and Indiana University. Just a great player. Also plays fullback on the offense. Mac Jones has really got to make some things happen for this team.
Instant replay coming up. 10:50 left in quarter number 2. Heritage got the football. Here's Cook.
Right there you see the QB keeper picks up some yardage. And Jason Cook, as this game goes on, is starting to assert himself more in the offense.
Heritage got the football right now, 2nd and 3 after 39. And keeping it on the ground right there by the Hurricanes. Nice stop on the play by number 70, Stephen Williams, as Rouser takes it up the middle for John Quillen's team. John Quillen, born in New Orleans, likes to use that veer offense. His assistants are he was an assistant at Jeff Davis Junior High School, and he's been an assistant at Ferguson, at Warwick, and Hampton University. Officials timeout.
Tim for 1 second. Just Tim.
First down for Heritage. 1st and 10 at their 37. Of course, John Quillen, he's been assistant. He was the head coach at Denby in 88 and 89. His team beat Hampton on this field 11 years ago. Had a subpar Denby team led by Brian Edlow back then. Coached the Peninsula Poseidons in a game we televised on Channel 6 back then, back in 1993. His strengths are he has lots of balance. That's what I'm talking about right there. Mike Johnson on the left-hand side, and Johnson across the 40 and stopped the play by number 7 for the Crabbers, and that was Carlos Campbell. Nice run right there by Johnson. He's a really positive asset to this team.
Absolutely. The thing that Johnson brings you is he can give you that change of pace. And Corey Rouse is the strength back, but Johnson, once he gets outside, he can make so many moves, so many cuts. He's so agile and quick. Johnson, just a great player.
Instant replay coming up as we take a look at the replay.
And now you're going to see why Mike Johnson is one of the top backs in this league. Right there, just showing you the quickness, the inside and outside moves. Good blocking downfield by Blackstock, and a nice pickup right there by number 2, Mike Johnson.
And that was Corey Rouser right there on the run for the Heritage Hurricanes. Flag on the play. Referees doing a great job tonight. Bill Dozier, George Adamowski, Mickey Hartside, Mike Jersega, Pete Smith, and Dan Reckendorf are our officials tonight. 9:38 left in the second quarter. Heritage leads at 7-0 on a first quarter Mike Johnson 6-yard run. Penalty was on the Hurricanes, however. Heritage this summer, Nate, they scrimmaged Nansman, River, and Kellum. Of course, we saw Mike Johnson get that touchdown run. He had 837 yards rushing from a year ago.
Absolutely. Johnson, as you mentioned, one of the keys. Johnson, Rouser, and Jay Cook we're starting to see tonight. These guys form a very effective backfield for the Heritage Hurricanes, and Hampton has got to come with some defense on this series.
1st and 21 for the Hurricanes, going right to left. There's Cook. He's got time on this beautiful night to throw it, decides to run, and good defense by the Crabbers. Nice stop by number 5 right there for Hampton. That was James Williams. He is the backup quarterback for Hampton, and Carlos Campbell. Capacity crowd on hand tonight. Mike Smith, of course, the head coach of Hampton. He was born in Anderson, Indiana. Believe it or not, he's only coached at one place. That's Hampton High School. He was an assistant under Johnny Palmer back in 1969 that won the state championship. You see the big crowd tonight we've been talking about. He went to Lincoln Memorial College and also East Tennessee State. Of course, the strengths of the defense, the weaknesses, they really don't have any. Mike Johnson right there, that's what I'm talking about, Nate. A huge defensive play by number 61, Chris Green.
Absolutely. The defense is the Crabbers' forte. That's where they show up every week, game in and game out. The only downside to Hampton I've seen is we see the Heritage cheerleaders. They don't have any woo-woo towels, but they're still getting the crowd hyped. Hampton hasn't really exploded offensively yet. We really haven't seen that offensive explosion from Hampton. And Carlos Campbell is looking to do some things this year, but Hampton's defense always keeps him in the game.
Huge crowd tonight. Glad you're with us. A lot of response on TV. We thank Marty O'Brien for helping us promote the game in the Daily Press, and we're on live on tonight like he always does in Sunny Dirt. 8 minutes left in quarter number 2. Heritage driving with the lead, but it's a 3rd and 14. Cook dropping to pass, and it's complete. Not enough for the first down to Blackstock. Good defensive play right there by the number 2, Derek Fenner. Nice video cam, tower cam shot by a great staff by Paul Cummings, Ray Price, and all the great staff in the truck. Instant replay coming up.
Right there you see him, Jay Cook tossing it over to Blackstock, and Fenner coming up with a great stop. The Fenner brothers, Daryl and Derek, key players for this Hampton team, and we haven't seen a lot from this game, as we're going to see another play coming up here. Heritage has really got to get this ball off. 4th down.
4th down, Wayne Reynolds back to punt, number 14. Bad snap, the left-handed punter. And it gets a good Heritage roll. Ooh, Hampton will have it deep in their own territory, right around the 9-yard line. So here's where Hampton's test will come in right now. 7:12 left. They can't afford a turnover and get down 14-0.
Excellent special teams punt right there. Just got him pinned down. inside their own 20. Hampton has got to come out and make a score. You see this capacity crowd that's back there. And, we've got probably just as many Hampton fans who come down from Hampton as we've got Heritage fans in here. It's just an intense playoff-type atmosphere, and Hampton has got to really make something happen on this series.
You got fans from all over the state here tonight, and this crowd around the track is packed, too. We did an event back in the summer, the Relay for Life. It's just about that many people here tonight. It is packed. 7:12 left. Here is Carlos Campbell and Hampton, running from that multiple-eye offense of Mike Smith. With his great assistants, led by Alvis Mann and Danny Mitchell. Hampton in the white uniforms. Nice defensive play. What a speedy tackle right there by the Heritage Hurricanes. Nice tackle by Caesar Watkins.
Nice job right there by Watkins.
Instant replay coming up to the Hampton Crabbers in the white and red.
Right now you're going to see Carlos Campbell. He knows he's got to get something going. Looks around, bam, right there. Number 4 on your screen coming in, and that was Carl Martin. Just a great job by the Hurricanes.
7-0, Heritage leading it. 6:40 left in the first half. Mike Smith's assistants, Danny Mitchell, has been with him since the late 70s. And Alvis Mann, Lanny Franklin, Tony Carlson, Kenneth Gilliam, Shannon Smith, Brian Gerzak, Daryl Fenner, former Bethel football quarterback Terry Van, and Ray Barnes and Donald Sullivan. And Hampton keeping on the ground once again. Nice stop right there by the Hurricanes' number 1, Corey Rouser. See the Heritage bench and the academic stars for the Crabbers. Mac Jones is the academic star. And, of course, the athletic star is Carlos Campbell. 6 minutes left in quarter number 2. Hampton with a big 3rd and 12. There you see the two young men respectively.
Got the game faces on.
Carlos Campbell also is the quarterback and plays defense and punts for Hampton too. Mac Jones, a 4-year starter, kind of like Carl Porter was from 82 to 85. The athletic trainer for Hampton is Mr. Hatcher. The cheerleading coach is Kim Saunders. The band director, Rick Allison. Principal, Dr. James Victory. Athletic director, Patricia Mitchell and Karen Holly. Delay of game on the Crabbers. Hampton really has not gotten in the groove tonight, Nate.
No, they haven't. And that delay of game will pin them right up to their goal line. They've taken the walk back, and they've got to come up with a play right now because Heritage right now, even though the score is only 7-0, Heritage has dictated the play of the game pretty much for the entire game so far.
We've televised Hampton 5 times previous. They're 4-1 on our airwaves. Heritage is 6-2 on television since 1996. The only 2 losses they lost were their first year to Menchville and also to Warwick that year. And don't forget, folks, we'll be able to see this game in Newport News, of course, live tonight, also Tuesday and Thursday next week, and in our city of Hampton as well. 5:30 left in the first half. Hampton in trouble. Right there. 3rd and 16 at the 4. Not much running room. As you see, the crowd is live tonight.
Good job by Hampton to avoid the safety because Heritage came in there with reckless abandon. But like you said, Greg, as we see the crowd just lined up here, capacity crowd, Hampton has got to do something to turn this game around.
The concession stand, Nate, is packed too. And so are the restrooms right now too, folks. This is just huge. Huge event tonight. Reminds me a lot of the crowd that was here for the Warwick-Hampton game 3 years ago that you saw during our pregame show. Mike Johnson at the 33. Oh, watch this play. And good special teams by the Crabbers. That's been the key for Hampton, the special teams. Nice stop on the play by number 11, Joseph Smith, a transfer from Kickingham.
Good job right there by the Crabbers on special teams, but excellent field position right now with the Heritage Hurricanes.
Let's take a look at that instant replay coming up with 4:45 left in quarter number 2. There's Hampton with those nice red helmets.
Right there you saw the play from earlier on in the series. Number 4, Carl Martin is going in with a ferocious hit, and that pretty much led to that 3rd and 16 situation that Hampton had.
We haven't seen huge scoring tonight, just 1 touchdown, but it's enough right now for the lead for the Hurricanes. Cook rolling out, got time, he throws it deep, a spiral, incomplete, intended for Larry Davis. Good coverage right there by number 2, Derek Fenner for Hampton.
Absolutely, you can hear the home crowd fans asking for a flag, but just good coverage right there by Fenner. And it was interesting to see they used Mike Johnson as the decoy and took it out to Larry Davis. We haven't called his number a lot tonight, but Larry Davis is definitely a scorer.
4:38 left in quarter number 2. And the score is 7-0 in favor of Heritage. One thing a lot of people didn't know is Mike Smith, the head coach since 1971, went to school to become a doctor, but he changed those plans. His father got him involved in football in the 5th grade and really got involved in the 8th grade after that. Heritage averaging 53 points a game on offense, leading it now 7-0. Cook dropping back. And Mike Johnson running, a good defense by the Crabbers. Number 42, Terry Gray. And Hampton's been in these rivalries before at Bethel, as you well know. And since 1974, those two schools have won 14 state championships in 27 years.
Exactly. They really haven't been spreading the wealth with anybody else. But this is a much different Hampton team than the teams we saw with Curry and with Hagans. They've got to come out and establish themselves. We haven't really seen too much of that tonight.
Not quite the superstars they've had in the past, but they're very balanced. Much like Heritage, who had Foster Broderson as a quarterback, a 3-year starter, and Cook is responding to the task tonight. Cook dropping back, in trouble, and a huge hit. And the ball is dropped by nice stop right there by number 42, Terry Gray, the senior. 5'10", 182-pounder. Nate, you said Hampton's got a strong defense. Big play right there, Ted.
Yeah, that was a big play. As you see, the offensive line of Heritage folded. You know, they gave Jason Cook time, but as you can see, the defensive line of Heritage was able to sack Jason Cook.
Instant replay coming up. Thank you, Ted, for those thoughts. And let's take a look at this hit again.
Right there, you see a little indecisiveness on the part of Jay Cook, and he just got manhandled right there. Fortunately for Heritage, the ref blew the play dead before the ball came out.
You know, prior to losing to Heritage 2 years ago, Hampton had a 40-game winning streak. Cook dropping back to throw the ball. Wide open across the middle. Incomplete. The pass is intended for the Hurricanes' number 6, Gary Stevens. And it'll bring up 4th down. Instant replay coming up. Sounds like a Mardi Gras parade out here tonight.
But yet again, Coach Quillen decided to go for it on 4th down. And right there you see the pass was close, but not close enough. You see both guys diving for the ball right there. It was kind of thrown in between them. And just, Hampton has got to take advantage of this situation right now and get some points on the board if they want to stick in this game. But Heritage has to come out with some stops right now.
1st and 10, 3:02 left in quarter number 2. Hampton trailing it 7-0. They've got the football. Mike Smith has won 2 state championships in the 70s, 5 in the 80s, 4 in the 90s. His last one 2 years ago over Amherst. Hampton's got the ball at the 39-yard line. Bad snap once again. Backup quarterback for the Crabbers, and that is Jimmy Williams, the junior. And Hampton's trying to mix up the offense a little bit now with the backup quarterback.
Exactly, trying to shake things up a little bit. But it's very interesting to see that Coach Smith is going with this right now. But like you mentioned, the snap, the interaction between quarterback and center hadn't been going good all night for him.
Instant replay coming up by our great video production staff. Bad snap.
Once again, and there you see it.
And a wobbly pass too, Nate.
Wobbly pass and also good defensive presence right there by the Heritage Hurricanes.
By Corey Rouser. Heritage right there in that 4-4 defense. Hampton that multiple eye offense. Mac Jones in the back. Hampton's got 3 receivers to the left and 1 to the right. There's the Crabbers, those red helmets, going left to right. And not much running room for the Crabbers again. Good defense by the Hurricanes. Number 9, Rudolph Foy. 3rd down for Mike Smith.
Good job by Rudy Foy to get in between the tackles and really put a good hit on Campbell, who was able to get the ball away just at the last second to avoid that sack.
Hampton's averaging 30 points a game on offense, but you got to go back to that game against Denby, where they only led 2-0 at halftime. And that was back on September the 9th. They started off the year defeating Kempsville 33-0, defeated Denby 16-0. Bethel, the arch rival, 21-0, and got by Menchville last week 62-zip. Penalty on the Crabbers. Next week they take on Warwick, who is 5-0.
Exactly, part of Warwick's Oktoberfest when they go into that big series of games.
Illegal procedure on the Crabbers. 3rd and 14. With 2:24 left in quarter number 2, Hampton leads those nice shiny white and red uniforms. Hampton, once again, we mentioned, is 4-1 on our airwaves. Big play for the Crabbers. Running from the eye, Carlos Campbell back into throw, number 7, trying to go deep, and it's intercepted by the quarterback for the Hurricanes. Nice catch right there by Jason Cook. And Hampton is struggling on offense tonight.
That was a huge play right there by Jason Cook. You also got to give a lot of credit to number 11, Daryl Blackstock, who put a ton of pressure on Carlos Campbell, and that led to the interception.
Instant replay coming up.
Right there you see it, number 11 coming in your screen, Carlos Campbell. Really put a lot of pressure on him, and right there, once he comes down with it, it's just off to the races. Great interception, great concentration right there by number 10, the quarterback, doing a little work on defense, Jason Cook.
Well, folks, don't forget this is another half to go. 24 minutes, 12-minute quarters they play in the Virginia High School League. And you know Mike Smith is going to make some adjustments. There's Mike Johnson, flags all over the place. He's trying to run outside. He's got some daylight. He's going to go out of bounds. And right there to cover was number 7, Carlos Campbell, but we'll see what the penalty flag says, Nate. Good run, however, by Mike Johnson.
Excellent run by Johnson, trying to tiptoe tightrope on the sidelines right there, but as you mentioned, we got to see what this flag is all about.
Instant replay coming up. Penalty on Hampton.
The play is good, you can see right there. Nice job by Johnson, eludes the tackle, and once he gets past that first couple of guys right there, it's off to the races. Unfortunately, could not stay in bounds, but just a great run by Mike Johnson, who is the key, the heart and soul of this Hurricane offense.
You'll be entertained at halftime by the band of Heritage High School. 1:49 left in quarter number 2. Heritage driving 1st and 10 at the Hampton 10, trying to make it 13-0 over the Crabbers. We'll go back to those Newport News schools that have beaten Hampton the last 11 years. Hey, it looks like a lightning strike just came up.
Well, we are in the middle of the storm right here. Heritage really turning things up in here. Hopefully the weather will stay pretty nice out here until these guys continue to play some great football. But Hampton is definitely back on their heels at this moment.
And Heritage calls a timeout with 1:37 left in quarter number 2. Hampton, of course, Heritage, their keys were trying to stop Mac Jones and the 4-year starter, eliminate the turnovers, but so far Hampton's just been a little sluggish on offense, and Heritage has been consistent on their ground game on the offensive side for John Quillen's team.
Exactly. If you look at Heritage, they really haven't done very much as far as passing tonight. It's all been on the ground. Corey Rouser, Jay Cook's taking some option plays, and, of course, Michael Johnson with the great runs.
Instant replay coming up later, but now we have an interview coming up.
Hi, my name is Diane Ashburn, and I'm here with Lauren Hartzler. Lauren is a former Heritage High School student. She graduated in June of last year, and she's currently a freshman at the Eastern Mennonite University. So, Lauren, could you tell us what exactly it is you're doing here tonight?
Coming back to support the old high school team. I'm also studying athletic training at Eastern Mennonite University, and I helped Ms. Lau out as a student trainer last year, and so I decided to come back and visit and help her this today.
How do you feel being here with Coach Lau tonight is helping you with your studies?
It's given me some hands-on basic training to go towards my training at EMU.
Okay, thank you. This has been Diane Ashburn. Okay.
And Cook up the middle. And right there to the 1-yard line, Nate, with 1:28 left in quarter number 2. Heritage is trying to go on the board again, leading 7-0.
Well, Heritage has been all about the ground attack tonight, Greg, and just another example that Cook taking it up the middle with the option draw. And it'll be interesting to see what Hampton can do against this, because they are really back on the heels. If Heritage scores here, it's not going to be the end, but it's definitely going to put a little bit more pressure around our Coach Mike Smith's team.
Hampton right now, Heritage, timeout on the field. Hampton had 397 yards rushing versus Menchville from a week ago. As you see, John Quillen, born in New Orleans. His son, Javon Quillen, played at Kickotan for Kurt Newsom. He's 1-1 in the playoffs. They went 1-1 a year ago. Heritage first time ever in the playoffs. Lots of balance for this team. Of course, he's been in these games before. He beat Mike Smith 11 years ago.
Exactly. You mentioned it's a very select group of Newport News teams that have beaten this Hampton Crabber squad coached by Mike Smith, and he definitely is going down with one of them.
Not many have either. 1993, Menchville did. And, of course, 1998, Heritage did. Back in 89, Denby did when John Quillen was coaching. 3rd and goal at the 1. Heritage going right to left. Huge crowd on hand tonight. And it is a touchdown. Quarterback keeper. As Heritage leads it 13-0.
Great job by Heritage, not only to score the touchdown, but just a great job of clock management by Coach Quillen. He just takes some time off the clock, just running things down the ground. We're seeing a great game plan being executed tonight. And Hampton is definitely behind the 8 ball right now. They got to come out on this next offensive series once they receive the ball and make things happen.
Not used to seeing Hampton behind the 8 ball either. And the extra point. The kick is up. Swivel kick. It is good. Nice kick right there by Landon Smith. Heritage leads it 14-0 with 1:26 left in quarter number 2.
The Hampton Crabbers have to realize this is not Denby. This isn't a team they can take lightly. They've got to come out with their A game, and we haven't seen that so far tonight.
Instant replay coming up.
Right there you see it, the QB keeper, just a little dive play up and over. Great job by Jay Cook, who really seems, the more this game goes on, the more he seems to get comfortable behind the center.
Folks, we're in quarter number 2, 1:26 left. Set the table for you. Heritage got a 6-yard run by Mike Johnson in the first quarter and a 1-yard run you just saw by Jason Cook. They lead it 14-0. And there's the kick by Smith. Landon, taken by the Hampton Crabbers. Number 7, Carlos Campbell. He's hit hard at the 25-yard line. Good defensive play right there by number 44, Dion Witherspoon.
Did you hear the reaction of the crowd when he laid that hit on him? Everybody is into this game. You can feel the energy running through Todd Stadium. And this Heritage Hurricane team seems to be on a roll right now. Hampton's got to do something to stop that.
Instant replay coming up. Huge crowd on hand tonight. There it is.
We've talked about what Heritage can do on offense and defense, but their special teams players come up big right now. There you see the return coming back from the Crabbers, and boom, right there. Just a great hit. Heritage Hurricanes doing it on special teams.
Hampton going for that multiple eye, keeping on the ground right there, and not much running room by number 8 for the Crabbers, and that was Alvin Banks. Hampton right now down 14-0.
It's a nice stop right there by number 4, Carl Martin, just doing a lot of great things right now for the defense on this Heritage Hurricane team.
1 minute left in quarter number 2, and timeout taken by the officials with 58 seconds left. Set the tone of the district. Hampton is 4-0 overall, as well as Heritage. They're both 3-0 in the district. Warwick is 5-0 overall. They're 4-0 in the district. Phoebus 4-1 overall, 3-1 in the district. Gloucester is surprisingly 3-2 overall, 3-1 in the district. Kickingham 2-2 overall, 2-1 in the district. Bethel is 2-3 overall, and 0-1 and 3 in the district. While Denby is 0-5, 0-4 in the district. Menchville as well is 0-5, 0-4. There's Jimmy Williams, number 5, going deep, and it's incomplete. Intended for number 22. And that was Alexander Mann.
Nice play right there as well by number 6, Gary Stevens, up there to deflect the pass.
Instant replay coming up. Hampton's going back and forth with their quarterback. There you see number 5, Jimmy Williams. Williams, a wobbly pass intended for Mann.
Good job right there by Gary Stevens to elevate. And like you said, Greg, going back and forth between these quarterbacks, if you're going to beat Heritage, you have to have some consistency. And with Mike Smith switching in and out, we really haven't found a consistent guy tonight.
And of course, Heritage, they're 0-5 overall, 0-4 in the district. Kickingham, they're 2-3 overall and 2-2 in the district. There's Williams once again, number 5, the junior, going deep, a nice spiral pass. Incomplete. Intended for number 15. James Matthews. Where's Ahmad Hawkins when you need him, huh, Nate?
Absolutely. Somebody get Ahmad a ring. But this is the most out of sync, most unorganized Hampton offensive set I've seen in a while. And, you know, it just goes back to consistency behind the quarterback. You know, Carlos Campbell was struggling earlier, but I think you got to let him get out there. As we see Carlos Campbell coming out to punt, they've really got to establish something when they come out for this next half.
Glad you're with us live right here on Channel 47. Hampton wants to put this half behind them. Heritage is playing great. Last time a Newport U school beat Hampton was Heritage 14-8 in 5 overtimes. Nice punt. Probably the best play of the game for Hampton today. Good punt by Carlos Campbell. Going all the way down to the 14-yard line is where Heritage will have the football. Nate, right now Heritage doesn't want to turn over.
Absolutely. Just hand the ball off to Mike Johnson and Corey Rouser and let them just take the ball as far as they can. If they break for a touchdown, great. If not, just run out the clock and don't make any silly mistakes here against Hampton.
Only 25 seconds left in quarter number 2. C.D. Hilton, the number 1 team in the state. Hampton's number 2, Deep Creek's 3. Culpeper, who beat Hampton last year, their last loss, 20-17. They're ranked 4. Pulaski's 5. Potomac's 6. Heritage is 7. Robinson High School is 8 out of Northern Virginia. Bayside, number 9 out of Virginia Beach. And Cave Spring and Patrick Henry Roanoke are tied at number 10. Heritage in that veer offense. Hampton with that wide tackle 6. And kneeing it smartly is Jason Cook. Smart play by John Quillen.
Smart job by Coach Quillen, not taking too many risks, just letting the clock run down. You just read off the list of the top teams in the state. If Heritage goes on to keep this lead and win this game tonight, I think you definitely got to consider Heritage as the best team in the state.
And right now, that is the halftime score. The Heritage Hurricanes, ranked number 7 in the state, lead the number 2 team in the state, the Hampton Crabbers, 14-0. But Nate, you know, some adjustments are going to be coming up in the second half.
Absolutely. You just mentioned earlier Coach Smith was going to study to be a doctor. He's got to come out and surgically engineer a game plan for the second half. Heritage, they can't, they're up, but they can't rest now. They've got to come out and play hard and play defense and offense because Hampton is just not going to roll over and quit for you.
Nice played first half, well-behaved crowd. Heritage has got 20 running touchdowns this year, 7 passing. And boy, what a balanced night, leading it 14-0. We'll be having an interview coming up on the field in just a moment with Sean Cooper. Sean will give us his analysis whenever we get the green light.
Hello, this is Mark Haynes reporting for Channel 47 here with Danielle Travis, cheerleader for Heritage High School. Danielle, what are some of your responsibilities as a cheerleader?
Just to keep all the drama down and to make sure that we just hit our motions tight and that we come out here representing our school right.
Okay, and what advice would you have for any future cheerleaders, little girls that would like to be cheerleaders one day?
Just believe in yourself, and if somebody tell you that you can't, just keep on trying.
Are you enjoying the game?
Yeah, it's pretty exciting. I just wish Hampton would give us a little bit of competition.
Okay, all right. This has been Mark Haynes reporting for Channel 47, and back to you, Greg.
All right, Mark, thank you very much right there. Glad you're with us on Channel 47. Let's go over this first half stats right there. First of all, Nate, for Heritage, they had 8 first downs, 23 rushing, 108 yards, threw the ball 10 times, completed 3 as Jason Cook, 1 interception, 47 passing yards. Returns, there 2 returns for a total of 8 yards. Punting 44 average, no fumbles, 2 penalties, 15 yards, 1 third down conversion, no fourth down conversion. Time possession, Heritage with the football, 14 minutes, 46 seconds.
All right, and the stats, Greg, for the visiting Hampton Crabbers, they've only had 1 first down. They rushed the ball 13 times for 12 yards. They've passed the ball once, and they've completed it just at 1 time. As far as passing yards, they've only picked up 2 yards. Returning on punts, 3 returns for 20 yards. They've averaged 39 yards per punt. As far as fumbles, they fumbled the ball once. Penalties, they had 2 penalties for 8 yards. No third down and no fourth down completions as well. And the total time of possession was 9 minutes and 14 seconds for a very disappointing Hampton squad in this first half, Greg.
All right, there you see the Hampton Crabbers right there. We're live on Channel 47. Heritage leading it 14-0. Heritage trailing the series 4-1. And the Heritage Hurricanes coming up. As you see the referees right there in the ball game, the officials. Heritage coming up has got Bethel, Warwick, Gloucester, Woodside, and Kickingham. While Hampton, the Crabbers coming up next week, they got the Warwick Raiders, and they got Gloucester, Kickingham, Phoebus, Woodside. 7 of their 10 games are at Darling Stadium. While Heritage has a total of 8 of their 10 games right here at Todd.
Well, there you just saw Hampton, Greg, getting ready, getting warmed up for the second half. They've got to come out and make a statement because, as you mentioned, the games are going to get a little bit tougher. They've got stiff challenges, and Heritage, this game is going to give them momentum heading into this October month if they can pick up the victory.
Hampton needs a new half right here to get started. They're down 14-0. What similarities these schools have, too, as well. You talk about they're both separated from Briarfield Road from Hampton to Heritage, and both their initials are HHS. So they're both HHS, but right now the HHS and the Maroon, the home team here at John B. Todd Field, has got the lead. That's Heritage with a 14-0 lead. There you see some people enjoying the game tonight, and the fans in the stands. There you see Danny Mitchell right there, the assistant coach for the Hampton Crabbers. Also went to Hampton High School. Hampton, of course, is 4-0 overall. Mike Smith, we mentioned, Been the head coach since 1971. Smith's been a part of 11 state championships. See a young fan right there. Assistant on the 69 team under Johnny Palmer. And of course, Hampton's won 4 other state championships besides Mike Smith winning the 11. Huge crowd tonight here on Channel 47. Glad you're with us. Our good friends at Domino's Pizza at 595-3030, and our great video production staff bringing you these excellent audio and video and the great sound and video you're watching tonight. Beautiful weather tonight here at John B. Todd Field. It's a crisp, clear fall night. Heritage will be kicking off. Check that Hampton will be kicking off. That's number 7, Carlos Campbell. And we're underway to the third quarter. Just about, and there's a nice run once again by Larry Davis. Davis stopped in the play by the Hampton Crabbers. Heritage will be going right to left, and we'll see if they can pick up where they left off, Nate.
Well, there you saw Larry Davis. We haven't called his number a lot tonight, but Larry Davis is very versatile, plays linebacker as well as receiver, and just a great job on the return right there.
Instant replay coming up to the kickoff once again.
There you see him getting ready. And, of course, Carlos Campbell right there with the kick.
Also want to thank the great job that you see the run right there by Larry Davis. And the stats right there. Cook back to pass. Throws it. Intercepted. Here's the big play Hampton needed. Carlos Campbell. The defense comes through at the 20. And takes a late hit right there. He's fired up by number 1, Corey Rouser. And Mike Smith is livid. He wants a late hit. And Nate, you never can underestimate Mike Smith. Head coach since 1971. He's won 11 state championships. You know he's going to make adjustments at halftime.
Exactly. Mike Smith, one of the great coaches in Virginia history. Surprised he hadn't been picked up by a college or a pro program. He's just a great tactician. But Corey Rouser with a good hit at the end. Maybe it was a little late, but you can't make these kind of mistakes against Hampton. And Mike Smith doing a great job with this team.
There he is right there, the head coach since 1971. The only school he's ever been at is Hampton High School. Mike Smith, the legend. 1st and 10 at the 10, the Crabbers. Here's where they're so dangerous. Penalty flags on the play. Hampton thinks it's on Heritage. We'll get the official call in just a moment. Hampton wearing the white and red. And the referee, Bill Dozier, penalty on the Hurricanes. Nate, only 18 seconds have elapsed in quarter number 3.
Exactly, and these are 2 silly mistakes back-to-back. First the interception, now the encroachment on the Hurricanes, but they really can't afford to give up this possession to Hampton right now. Hampton, on the other hand, has to take advantage of this and come away with some points.
There's the stats right there. You see them right there, Heritage and Hampton. 1st and goal at the 5-yard line right there for Hampton. On the ground is Carlos Campbell, and Campbell at the inch line right there. Nice stop on the play by the Hurricanes in the maroon uniforms. Bring up 2nd and goal to 1.
Now you saw our end zone cam right there for a second right there. But the thing is, as we saw with the stats, only 14 total yards for Hampton. Very disappointing in the first half. But they've got to come up big right now.
Instant replay coming up. Hampton only had 1 first down in the first half. But it's a brand new 24 minutes here in half number 2. We don't want to miss this touchdown. Right now, 2nd and goal at the 1. Carlos Campbell. The quarterback for Hampton, number 7. And it doesn't look like he's going to make it, but in the second effort, he does. Makes the second effort, and Heritage stops him. No points there for Hampton, 14-0. 3rd and goal at the 1. He made the second effort, but no dice.
Great goal line stand right there by Heritage. You see the capacity crowd right here. Half of the crowd was cheering, half of the crowd was booing on that play right there. But Heritage has one more chance to stop Hampton, and Hampton has one more crack at the end zone.
Well, they might make it 2, Nate. Believe me, they're down here at 3rd down and 1. They're going to get. They need 7 points. 10 minutes left in quarter number 3. Hampton in the white and red. And keeping on the ground are the Crabbers. We'll get the signal. No signal yet. Hampton having trouble. Maybe they should go around the outside corner. Heritage stops them again. 4th down now for Mike Smith's Crabbers. See the bottom of the pile coming up, Daryl Blackstock, big-time senior. Heritage, no freshmen, 2 sophomores, 18 juniors, 19 seniors. Mac Jones could not bulldoze his way through, the 4-year starter.
No, sir, and Mike Smith really, he has to kind of go for it right now, go for the points, and if he does not make it, you have Heritage pinned in against their own goal line, but you can hear the crowd out here chanting defense, 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 and Heritage has provided that.
Hampton right now running that multiple eye offense. 4th and 1 with 9:13 left in quarter number 3. And that time it's a touchdown, Hampton. Hampton's fans back in the game now.
That Hampton side had been quiet for a long time, Greg. And finally they cracked the end zone, broke the play, and was able to get that touchdown. But you got to give credit to Heritage's defense. They stopped the number 2 team in the state. You see Mike Smith really can't get too happy about that because he's still down by a score. But Heritage put 3 consecutive goal line stops on Hampton. That 4th time, though, wasn't the charm, and Hampton was able to get in for 6.
There you see Mike Smith right there. Great shots by Director Bill Barlow and his students and staff. And the kick is up, and it is good. Nice kick right there by Aaron Whitehead. And the score is 14-7. Heritage leading with 9:07 left in quarter number 3. Penalty on the play right there.
We haven't seen a lot of penalties tonight. It's been a pretty clean game, but Heritage has got to respond off of this, and they've got to definitely come back and make a big change and come back with some offense on this next series, Greg.
We'll see the nice crowd shot right there. See what the referee has to say. And penalty was declined, and the score remained the same, 14-7. Illegal substitution on Heritage with 9:07 left.
Illegal substitution, of course, right there. As you see the score on your screen, 14-7, Heritage with the advantage.
Instant replay right there. Campbell. That's from a previous play. Good stop there by Heritage, but nonetheless, Hampton did score. It's 14-7. Carlos Campbell back to kick for the Crabbers in the white and red uniforms. Seemed like 7 years ago, right around this time, where Menchville pulled off a big win with David Macklin and Robert Hunt over Walter Ford and Carlos Ford for the Crabbers. 13-7 back in '93 in a game you saw on our airwaves. There's the kick by Campbell, taken by Larry Davis at the 11. Harry's got the football wide open. A nice stop in the play by number 44 for the Crabbers, and that is Darylyn Fenner.
Carlos Campbell pulling double duty right after he scored that touchdown. He comes back with the kickoff, and Heritage has got to make a statement right now.
As you well know, Nate, there's 12 minutes per quarter. There's the Heritage football team in the maroon and gray, 6-2 on TV on our airwaves. Heritage beat Hampton 14-8 in 5 overtimes 2 years ago. Playing a team that won the state championship back in '97, 51-8 over William Fleming. And Mac Jones was a freshman. And a bad snap right there, and good defense, and Mike Johnson's in trouble. Good defense right there by the Crabbers, number 33, Mac Jones. Hampton's put up another unit here in the second half.
Absolutely, good job by the Hampton defense, but also give credit to Heritage. They could have taken a big loss on that play right there with just the presence of mind of Jay Cook to toss it to Mike Johnson to pick up at least a little bit of yardage.
Instant replay coming up. 8:30 left in quarter number 3.
Right there you see almost sacked. Cook just tosses it out, and Johnson does a good job to get back to the line of scrimmage against this tough Hampton defense.
Also want to thank Dick Tyson and Gary Sylvie for all their help this week in this telecast on the air. Mike Johnson, a la Archie Griffin, running, moving across the 40. Nice run by Mike Johnson. They needed a big play to get their energy back up.
Greg, there are special players that you call game breakers, guys who can change a game on one play with the momentum. This guy right here, Mike Johnson, is definitely a game breaker.
Nate, this kind of reminds you of the old Newport News versus Hampton rivalries. When Johnny Palmer from Hampton would go against Charlie Nuttycombe from Newport News High School. A huge crowd on hand tonight. Mike Johnson right there, the junior. Number 2 for Heritage. Heritage running on that veer offense. Hampton counting that wide tackle 6 defense. Heritage going right to left, 1st and 10 at the Hampton 36-yard line. Nice run by Mike Johnson. Heritage right now running from the eye, and not much running room for the Hurricanes. And Rouser stopped on the play by number 5, James Williams. Instant replay coming up.
Right here you see Mike Johnson and Hampton not doing a good job of stopping him at the line. Right there he had a chance to be taken down, but like we said, he's a game breaker. He gets out in the open, and finally he's brought down by Williams, the backup quarterback, with a great run by number 2, Mike Johnson.
7:40 left in this ball, third quarter. Heritage up 14-7. Big 2nd down and 6 coming up. Sean Atwood, the center. Heritage in the all-maroon uniforms, gray helmets. John Quillen, the third coach of the last 5 years for the Hurricanes. And up the middle with a flag on the play are the Hurricanes once again. Landon Smith. We'll see what the flag says. Penalty on Heritage.
A holding penalty on Heritage right there. Negates a good run by number 3, Landon Smith. But like we said, Greg, you got to keep your head in the game. You can't make silly mistakes against the team in Caliber Hampton.
Instant replay coming up. Huge penalty on Heritage. There's Cook.
Right there you see the handoff up the middle. Number 3, Mini-Me. He's only about 5'8", 5'9". Good job up the middle by number 3, Landon Smith.
Folks, don't forget, next week, you want to come by Warwick High School. We'll be over there, Channel 47 will. And the board of directors of the Henry Jordan Memorial Scholarship Fund and the Newport Youth Schools are pleased to announce that the football field in front of Warwick High School will be named the Henry W. Jordan Field, honoring the Warwick High School graduate, UVA graduate, and the NFL Hall of Famer who played for the Green Bay Packers. Jason Cook rolling out, throwing it, and it's incomplete. In and out of the hands of number 11 right there, Daryl Blackstock. You got to make a catch like that, Nate.
Yes, Blackstock had to make that catch right there. Unfortunately, just couldn't get it right there. Good job by Cook, though, to try to hit him in stride.
Instant replay coming up. 6:46 left in quarter number 3.
Right here you're going to see Cook is going to roll out. And it looked for a second like he had a chance to run and make a break right there. But at the last second, before he crossed the line of scrimmage, he tosses the ball. Right here you see he's got somewhere to run, but he tosses it out. Pretty good pass. Unfortunately, right there, you see number 11, Blackstock, couldn't keep up with it.
He heard footsteps, folks. He heard the footsteps of Carlos Campbell. 3rd and 16 right now. Heritage has got the ball. Big play after Hampton scored that Carlos Campbell touchdown run. 14-7, Hurricanes leading it, and they call a timeout. Heritage this year scored 20 touchdowns on the ground, 7 by air. They can hit you by all cylinders, but they've struggled here in the third quarter. With 6:46 left, it is Heritage 14 and Hampton 7. Sean Cooper on the field. Sean.
This is Sean Cooper reporting live for Channel 47. Number 7, Larry Davis, was limping off the field earlier. I talked to Ms. Lau, the team's trainer. It was just a cramp in his leg. He will be back in the game. Back to you, Greg.
And Sean's coming through with a big game tonight himself. Sean Cooper on the field. Nate, he's doing a great job tonight.
Absolutely. From the woo-woo towels to the updates, we see the crowd right there really into this game on both sides of the field. But Larry Davis is a guy that can't afford to miss. And like Sean said, he just had a little minor cramp and he's back in the game right now.
Friends, neighbors, it's a big community event, statewide event. This place is packed. People are parking from all over Warwick Boulevard to get over here. On both sides, you see the crowd just enjoying the game. The band's here. It's a capacity crowd at Todd Stadium tonight. 6:46, 3rd and 16 for John Quillen's team. Cook throws it up the middle. It's complete. Nice catch right there by Corey Rouser.
Huge play by Rouser. Nice catch and good concentration, able to hold on to the ball when he caught that big hit at the end.
Instant replay coming up. Mike Smith doesn't like that, Nate.
Right there you see Jay Cook looking at the poise right there, just kicking it across the middle. And great job to pick up that first right there by number 1, Corey Rouser.
Stephen Lee, who had a kidney removed for Hampton, number 60, made the stop on the play. An interesting story that is. You see the Heritage offensive line. First down, Heritage. Score is 14-7 in favor of Heritage. First and 10 with 6:30 left in the quarter number 3 at the Hampton 25-yard line. That could have been a game breaker there, Nate. If Hampton would have stopped Heritage, would have been a different ball game here in the second half.
Absolutely, it would have been a totally different ball game. But also Heritage right now, if Heritage scores right now, that also puts a different slant on the ball game. Whereas Hampton would have only had to come back for 1 touchdown. They had to score 2 now with time running on the clock.
Mike Johnson skedaddles in the right side corner, and he slides right around the 20-yard line before being stopped by Carlos Campbell. Hampton's had so many great players. We talk about Henry Jordan was an NFL Hall of Famer. So was Dwight Stevenson, who played for the Miami Dolphins from 80 to 87 in Alabama. They've had great players like Carl Porter, Carlos Ford, and Walter Ford. Robert Banks, who played for Notre Dame. Donnie Green, who's now playing in Virginia. Maude Hawkins, also a Cavalier. Marcus Campbell, doing a great job over the years. No relation to Carlos, who was the wide receiver for the Hampton Crabbers back during the '83 season. 5:30 left in quarter number 3. 2nd and 5 for John Quillen's team. Running from the eye in the maroon uniforms. And keeping it up the middle was Corey Rouser.
I really like this Corey Rouser because he's a change of pace. He brings in a lot of pace and muscle to this team.
All right, 4:56 left. You see the Heritage coaching staff right there. John Quillen squatting down right there. Head coach in his 2nd year. He's 14-2 overall. And Hampton with a big defensive play there, stopping the Hurricanes' drive, but it'll bring up a 3rd down situation. Huge crowd tonight. Newport News Schools doing a great job hosting this event.
This place is packed, Greg. This place is rocking. We're interested to see the play call that goes on right now with Coach Quillen as the 4th and 2 comes up, and we see Larry Davis sprinting onto the field right now.
You're watching this game live right here on Channel 47 Newport News. Glad you're with us for our 10th year. Hope you enjoy all our replays as well. The game will be shown in Hampton as well, our good friends in Hampton. 4:13 left in quarter number 3. 4th down, Nate. What do you do if you're John Quillen?
If I'm John Quillen, I think, conventional wisdom would be to go for the 3. But you are from a pretty good distance, I think. With only 2 yards to go, you got to go for a QB sneak or a QB keeper right there and just drive it up the middle.
It'd be about a 34-yard kick. No, he's not going to get the 1st down. But on the 2nd effort, he does. 2nd effort, he does. Jason Cook, on the 2nd effort, gets a big 1st down for Heritage.
Just when you think you've seen it all, Greg, Jason Cook is really making a name for himself tonight. Going into the game, we thought he might be the one weakness of this Heritage team, but he's become a strength tonight.
Insert replay coming up.
Right there on the initial play right there, Hampton makes the stop. But Cook keeps his feet moving, keeps running, and he doesn't give up, and that's why he's come out and established himself as a leader in tonight's game, Greg.
All right, 3:30 left in quarter number 3. Don't forget to give our friends at Domino's a call, folks. 595-3030. They're waiting to take your call for a large pizza today. Flags all over the place. But once again, Nate, that event next Saturday is at Warwick High School. They're going to name the field Henry Jordan. Penalty on Heritage. The dedication after Henry Jordan played for the legendary Vince Lombardi. A dedication ceremony will take place during halftime at the Warwick-Hampton Junior Varsity game next Saturday. Special guests include former Packer Willie Davis, Boyd Dowler. You see Mike Johnson right there doing the running play, Dave Robinson and Tom Brown. They're hitting hard tonight.
Absolutely, a lot of physicality going on tonight, and we got a replay coming up, but these guys are definitely going for broke.
Here's Mike Johnson.
It's a nice hit right there, nice stop. Good physical contact, nice clean hits we're seeing out there tonight.
Nate, this isn't flag football what you play, my friend. This is tackle football tonight, too.
Absolutely. I'm a little too old and out of shape to be out there in the football field anymore, but I can definitely feel this atmosphere, and this is getting me excited up here because these guys are going out here playing a great game tonight.
All right, here comes the run by the Hurricanes. Mike Johnson And not much running room will bring up third down situation. Another big play for the Hurricanes. Trying to score in the red zone. That might be the key for the second half.
Exactly, and another key thing is Heritage, through all these running plays, they're running time off the clock. Minute by minute ball control, sort of like what Bill Parcells used to do with the New York Giants.
What a huge tower cam shot that is, folks. You not only see the field, you see the Hampton team wearing the white uniforms, Heritage and the maroon going right to left. Great shot by our video production staff led by Paul Cummings in the truck. 2 minutes left in quarter number 3. 3rd and 10 for John Quillen's Hurricanes. Cook up the middle. He will not get the first down. Good stop of the play by Carlos Campbell. And Campbell right there with the stop.
Campbell saving the touchdown right now. And another interesting situation coming up for Coach Quillen. Do you go for it or do you kick the field goal now that you're in field goal range?
Yeah, 4th and 1, Nate. Timeout on the play by the Hurricanes. Instant replay coming up. What a huge ball game on TV tonight.
Right there you see it, number 10, Jay Cook. Been impressed with him all night. Gets the ball over the middle to number 4, Carl Martin. Martin just a great reception, but Carlos Campbell was there for the stop.
The whole motto was you can't crush the crab for Hampton, but the Hurricanes right now are trying to make some crab soup in the 3rd quarter. That rivalry with Bethel and Hampton was so big back in the 70s and 80s and early 90s when Iverson and Curry were there that they used to bring crabs to Bethel and say, look, we're going to crush those crabs.
Exactly, just a great rivalry. It's kind of tapered off the last couple of years when Bethel came up with a big victory today over Woodside, 35-5. Woodside's still struggling a little bit, but as we see this capacity Carter, Woodside's going to get better as the season goes on.
And our next ball game we'll have live on Channel 47, your place for live TV. As you see the tower cam shot, will be October 13th between Warwick and Heritage. Man, Warwick's playing really well under Tommy Raymond, 5-0. They won last night over Denby 34-0, and Denby's off to an 0-5 start. All right, Nate, 4th and 2. They made it on 3rd and 16. We'll see if they can do it on 4th and 2. Heritage has the ball and the lead, 14-7, with 1:37 left in quarter number 3. Big 4th quarter still ahead of you on Channel 47. And Cook, will he make it? We'll see. Doesn't look like it from right here, Nate, but you can't tell. We'll see what the referee, Bill Dozier, says. The crowd is silent. And the officials are going to measure it, Nate.
Well, it's a very tense situation right here. We got to see. It's going to be crucial either way to see how this measurement comes out.
Instant replay coming up. Heritage in that maroon, Hampton in the white. Let's take a look at this. We'll see if he made it. No way, not even close. Hampton's got the ball. Big stop with the Crabbers. Nate, mark that down. 1:34 left in quarter number 3. Instant replay.
Well, right here you're going to see them coming with the QB keep with the QB dive. Jay Cook is about to take the ball. Right there, he runs into his lineman, number 77, Big Johnny Burke, and unfortunately that stopped him.
Nate, what do you do if you're Mike Smith? You're deep in your own territory, down at your own 3-yard line. You don't want to get a turnover here deep in your own territory.
Exactly. I would keep the ball on the ground at least until you get out towards the 10-yard line, because this Heritage defense has been swarming, and if you throw an interception this close to the goal line, it's just an easy walk back for a score.
One thing for Heritage that's hurt him was that interception thrown by Jason Cook, and there's Carlos Campbell calling a timeout. Cook has got 4 interceptions in the year. That was a big one in the 3rd quarter was crucial when Carlos Campbell made the catch and set up his own 1-yard touchdown run.
Exactly. Jason Cook came into the ninth game with 568 yards, 7 touchdowns, but as you mentioned, those interceptions really hurt him. But be interesting to see how this turns out tonight.
Let's see our friends from Domino's Pizza at 595-3030. See the Hampton team right there, unified in the white and red. Give them a call for excellent, delicious hot pizza. They've been so great to our video production staff for so many years. There you see John Quillen, born in Bayou Country in New Orleans. His team has lots of balance. The only defense, as far as lots of balance, the only weakness, Nate, I'd see for Heritage is just they're young.
Heritage is young, got a little bit of an experience to them, but as you mentioned, they're just a balanced team. #1 on offense and defense total in the Peninsula District, and that is why you're seeing them in this crucial game right now. That's why they're #7 in the state right now.
All right, 1:34 left in quarter number 3. Hampton's got the football. Surprising pass by Carlos Campbell is caught. Nice catch. He was down. Good catch right there by Derek Fenner. Derek Fenner, #2, the wide receiver for Hampton. Brings up a first down situation for Hampton.
And Derek Fenner with a nice reception right there. We see the replay right here. Campbell surveying the field, gets it down there. Just a great concentration and good job by Fenner to pull it down. Looked like he could have come out there at the end of the play, but the ref had already whistled the play down.
He only had 2 passing yards in the first half. That was definitely a big offensive play. That pass from Campbell to Fenner. The key for Heritage was to stop maybe Mac Jones, a flag on the play. 1st and 10. Hampton trailing at 14-7.
This is a crucial series for Hampton. If they score on this drive, it's a whole new ball game. We're all square. But if Heritage comes out with a stop, that's a big psychological advantage. And they can come out and put another score on the board.
Delay of game on the Crabbers. One thing Mike Smith's teams, they don't make many mental mistakes. And if they're trailing at 14-7 with only 1:06 left in quarter number 3.
I think the key is kind of what you've been talking about all night, Greg, is they're not having that one superstar. The one player that you can identify as the go-to guy, and that's some of the growing pains the Crabbers are going through this season.
You talk about so many superstars they've had over the years, too. The 70s, Woodrow Wilson. The 80s, Marco Stacy. 90s, Ronald Curry. Here's Carlos Campbell. Campbell running. Not much running room there. Forced out of bounds by number 70 for the Hurricanes, Caesar Watkins.
Good job by the Hurricanes to really cut that off. And good job by the Hurricanes secondary as well to hold up the passers, because there was no way that Campbell was going to get to one of his receivers. And unfortunately for Hampton, he got taken out of bounds pretty early.
36 seconds left in quarter number 3. Mike Smith and his staff right there just relaying the message to Carlos Campbell in his 30th year, the Dean of Coaches in the Peninsula District. Mike Smith has won 11 state championships. There you see him right there, folks. He's been in these games before, but he knows it's a huge Division V battle tonight. Bayside and Virginia Beach, they're Division 16. They're 5-0. Granby also 5-0 in the Eastern region. Lake Taylor's also 5-0. They're Division 5. And Hampton keeping it up the ground. With 25 seconds left in quarter number 3. And also in the Southeastern District, Nate, Deep Creek, they're off to a 5-0 start. They're Division 6, so a lot of good teams. You talk about Division 5, you got to look at some of Hampton's top opposition this year. Could be, who knows, Lake Taylor from Norfolk.
Well, as you mentioned, Greg, there's a lot of tough teams out there. Deep Creek, as you mentioned, always comes out to play. Hampton, of course, they've been there year in and year out. But Heritage is really the one team, the up-and-comer, that's making a name for themselves this season.
All right, that ends the third quarter with the score. It is Heritage 14, Hampton 7. We have 12 minutes left of live football from John B. Todd Field. Nate, third quarter, Hampton made the big play in the interception by Carlos Campbell.
It was a good job right there by the team. Hampton made a big, huge play, and that's why you see the score right there on the screen, 14-7.
And folks, we're glad you're with us tonight on TV as well. Greg Bicaveras along with Nate Milton, glad you're with us. Heritage leads at 14-7. Heritage got all their points, though, in the first half, while Hampton countered like they always do in the second half with a nice 1-yard run by Carlos Campbell. There's still a big ball game left, 12 more minutes left.
Exactly, you've still got 12 more minutes to play in this game, but Heritage right now, they have the advantage. They're winning on the scoreboard, but they have the momentum as well. They got the fans out here with the woo-woo towels, keeping the ruckus in here. But Hampton is a very seasoned team. They might not have the superstar that we've talked about, but they're well coached, and they come out to play every game. So this game is not done yet, folks.
Hampton's got the ball. 3rd and 9 at their 28-yard line. Fourth quarter now, folks. Great job, our video production staff tonight. Huge crowd on hand tonight. We're in the fourth quarter. Hampton with the football. Carlos Campbell looking to pass. He's going deep. Way overthrown, though. And they're going to call a penalty on Heritage. It was a trip, Nate, but it was accidental. It was accidental.
That was also a tough call for Heritage to take because there was no way the receiver could have gotten to the ball. It was overthrown, but Hampton, the beneficiary, and Heritage can't afford to make any mistakes against the Crabber team.
You talk about that in a game like this. You have a very fine line of making mistakes. Here's the referee, Bill Dozier. Pass interference on the Hurricanes. Here it is, Nate.
Right here you can see it as we hear the Heritage fans in the background voicing their opinion. Carlos Campbell goes back to pass. He's going to unleash a nice pass right there. Pretty tight spiral. Just a great arm by this guy. And right there, it was kind of a push towards the end of the play, but the ball was so far overthrown he had no way of receiving that. But you got to play smart when you play Hampton.
1st and 10 for Hampton at their 43-yard line. And Hampton's got the ball running from the eye. And keeping on the ground right there are the Crabbers. And that was Fenner on the run right there. Heritage counting on that 4-4 defense. Of course, Heritage last year, Nate, lost Eric Sidney, who had 671 yards. The top returning was Daryl Blackstock. He's made a good catch tonight.
Exactly. Blackstock has done a great job. Mike Johnson has stepped up. But like you said, when they lost Sidney, when they lost Blunt, when they lost Brodus, a lot of people counted off Heritage this year, but they've shown everybody that they have a great squad this year.
11:20 left here in quarter number 4. Hampton driving 2nd and 8 at their own 45. And Campbell has no room. Good stop on the play by the Hurricanes, number 9. That is Rudolph Foy, the junior.
Great job right there. As you see the fans, number 9, Rudy Foy, along with number 1, Corey Rouser. We've heard his name a lot, getting in there and getting it done, which brings up a crucial 3rd down play right now for Mike Smith and the Hampton Crabbers.
All right, 3rd and 9 right now with 10:50 left. The clock is definitely an ally to the Hurricanes. Hampton has to score soon. Score twice to win. Of course, there is overtime in the Peninsula District and throughout the state. 10:30 left. Hampton's got the ball, 3rd and 9 at their 44. Going right to left in those pretty white and red uniforms. Campbell, number 7's got the ball. Running to his right side. And he will not get the first down. Good stop on the play by number 1, Corey Rouser. And number 7, Larry Davis.
That was a clutch play right there by the Heritage Hurricanes defense. It all started with number 22, Julius Daniels, going to the backfield and flushing out Carlos Campbell. And then from there, Corey Rouser and the rest of the Canes brought him down.
His interview coming up with Josh Mangana.
Hi, this is Josh Mangana reporting live with John Big Dog Axum, Sage member and high school football fanatic. Big Dog, what are some of Sage's plans for this school year?
Well, Josh, the first thing I need to do is tell you what Sage is. Some of you may not be familiar, but Sage is the Student Advisory Group on Education. And what we do is we advise Dr. Lett, Dr. Liebald, Miss Lamberton on some things such as the rezoning of the schools that are coming up soon, which the school board will be voting on very soon, and I hope that we can bring information to y'all.
That's wonderful, John. John, as a high school football fanatic, what are your feelings about the Peninsula District football season this year?
Well, my feelings are Warwick is the best. Warwick is always going to be the best, and Warwick rules. Now, I know you Heritage people are thinking right now, why is this Warwick Raider on our airtime? Well, before you get all upset, pipe down and listen. I'm giving you props. I'll even give you a bark at the end of this interview because I'm proud of you. You look at the scoreboard, 14-7 Heritage. That's what I like. Hampton, it's time for them to step down from being the best. Warwick, Heritage, we can be friends, but let me tell you something. 2 weeks, we got you. Then the gloves are on.
Thanks, Big Dog.
I'm give him a bark right here, Josh.
The bark from Big Dog. Now back to you in the booth, Greg.
Nate.
Well, we see the Big Dog right there. Who let the dogs out? The Big Dog cutting a promo right there for the Warwick Raiders. And that big matchup coming up soon, the Warwick Raiders taking on Heritage. And it'll be interesting to see how that game is hyped up regarding the outcome of this game that we're watching right now tonight.
All right, 8:53. We'll be hearing from Tommy Raymond in just a moment. Here's Jason Cook. Cook trying to go deep. He does, and it's complete. A nice catch right there by number 20, for the Hurricanes, Raymond Stiff. Huge first down for the Hurricanes. And now we're joined by Tommy Raymond. Tommy, first of all, off to a 5-0 start. You got to be happy about the way your Wark Raiders are performing this year.
Well, we're real excited about the start, the first part of the season. However, the Oktoberfest starts next Friday, and watching two of these teams play tonight, it's really a treat.
It's a replay coming up. There's Jason Cook. Nate, nice pass.
You see Jason Cook. We've been impressed with Jason Cook tonight. He's made a name for himself. Completion right there to number 20, right there, Raymond Stiff. And Stiff does a great job of getting downfield.
And there's a huge run once again by number 2, Michael Johnson. Tommy, Heritage scored enough points in the first half. They're up 14-7, and it seems like it's been a game of quarters. Hampton played well in the third quarter, but Heritage has got the momentum here in the fourth.
Well, you're talking about two of the top defensive teams in the district as well as the area, so they're pretty much playing like it's playing. Heritage is very aggressive, and they're playing very well.
All right, Sean Atwood, the center. 7:50 left. Heritage driving 2nd and 2. Mike Smith's team is in trouble. And a huge defensive effort right there, stopping Corey Rouser was number 70, Stephen Williams. Good defensive play, Nate.
Good defensive play right there by Stephen Williams. The Hampton defense, as Coach Reeman just mentioned, both of these teams have great defenses. Hampton defense ranked number 2 in the state. Heritage is number 1. They've got to come out and find a way to score offensively, but this game is going to be nip and tuck to the end, and whoever has the ball at the end just might be the one that comes out with the victory.
Tommy, big game next Friday for you, too. You start Oktoberfest, taking on Hampton at Darling Stadium. What do you think about the crowd here tonight?
This is fantastic. Coach Sylvie, athletic director of the school system, says it's the largest crowd ever. So we anticipate in a few weeks it'll be another large crowd.
2 weeks from Friday, October 13th. Cook keeping it to Johnson, and Johnson does not get the first down. Good defense by number 42. That was Terry Gray for Hampton, the white and red uniforms.
Well, when you look at these two teams, you see teams that have Heritage and Hampton are both balanced. They can run the ball, they can throw the ball. It's just a matter of execution right there. And Hampton executed on the defensive side. And Mike Johnson, he's been great all night. Unfortunately, wasn't able to turn the corner.
Long field goal coming up here for the Hurricanes. Landon Smith on the snap. It'll be about a 37-yard field goal. The kick is blocked. And Hampton gets it right there as number 12, Nolan Curtis. And right now, Tommy, it's do or die time. 6:19 left. Hampton trailing 14-7.
Well, Heritage is doing all the right things. Defensively, they've contained Hampton all night. And with this time left in the game, I think they'll do very well defensively. They've contained them all night. So I don't see a problem.
All right, 6:19 left. Hampton has not really had much offensive spark at all tonight. Instant replay coming up. There's the block kick into the hands of number 12, Nolan Cutler, the 4th. Nate, huge 6 minutes left.
Exactly. Heritage has to stay composed. They can't get too excited about this. They got to stay focused and play hard-nosed defense like they've done for the better part of this game and contain Hampton.
Mike Smith's going to have to pull out his bag of tricks now. And a big sack on Carlos Campbell by number 9, Rudolph Foy. Who let the dogs out, Nate?
Who let the dogs out indeed. Rudy Foy and Corey Rouser have been in Carlos Campbell's face all night, and they've definitely done a good job of shutting him down.
Instant replay coming up.
Right here, you're going to see it.
Blitz.
Just coming around. Nobody was even there to block Rudy Foy, and Foy just took him down.
Tommy, I'm sure you're keeping a good eye on this. You got a Heritage in 2 weeks.
Well, there's no doubt. Heritage can now take everything and go after the quarterback. It's an obvious pass situation. So they're bringing everybody up on the line, and they're doing a good job with the stunning and blitz.
All right, 2nd and 17. 5:35 left in this game. Carlos Campbell, he's got time this time. Overthrown to a wide open number 2, Derek Benner. Overthrown, Nate.
Overthrown. Carlos Campbell's probably still a little shaky from taking that sack. But Campbell really hadn't looked quite consistent tonight. He really hadn't seemed like he was in sync with the offense. And that's definitely going to be something. If they can't get the offense going, they're going to have to, talk about that first defeat of the season tonight.
Instant replay coming up.
And you see, again, Rudy Foy was in his face. And right there, the ball was off. The receiver should have made that play right there, though.
Also, Gary Stevens back there as well. Tommy, what a year it's been for you at Wark High School. We had the big Michael Vick weekend back in March. Of course, CBS did a pregame show today with Brenda Body. 5:28 left. 3rd and 17. From the shotgun, Carlos Campbell. In motion right there for the Crabbers. Joe Smith. Campbell's got time. Throws deep. Could it be caught? Yes. What a huge catch by number 11, Joseph Smith, the transfer, Tommy, from Kecoughtan High School.
Well, it does seem like Hampton does get a lot of transfers from Kecoughtan High School. There's no doubt about that. It's fact.
Well, right there you saw the play right there, as Coach Reedy mentioned, the transfer coming over. But that was just a great play. Campbell once again taking a hit, though, from Rudy Foy.
This is the biggest play of Hampton's game tonight. They had to respond, and they did. Campbell had time. Rudolph Foy hit him. As he hit him was a huge bomb. And Smith has been known to do that over the years, that deep threat. He said he might not, but he has done it tonight. It's always been an asset for Hampton's arsenal. 1st and 10. Campbell, he's got some wide open room, doing what Clemson does so well, and he's going to get a first down all the way to the 9-yard line before being stopped in the play by number 4, Carl Martin. Hold your horses, Nate. This game ain't over.
Well, Carlos Campbell doing his best Woody Dansler.
Looks like he dropped the ball. And Heritage got the football. What a turn of events.
Now, this is huge, Greg. This is huge right now. You saw one side of the stadium, the fans are stunned in disbelief. The other side is going crazy as Heritage comes up with the football.
Let's take a look at that instant replay coming up. There you see right there the quarterback. Nice run by Campbell, Nate.
Exactly. Like you said, doing his best Woody Dansler, or since we've got Coach Reed up here, here's Michael Vick impression. But right here, take a look at the end. Right as he's about to go out of bounds, the ball is knocked out of his hands. And number 4, Carl Martin, who's been around the ball all night, comes up with a great play. Good call by the officials, and what a momentum change.
Tommy, that hurts, doesn't it?
Yes, that's a big blow. Ball control at this point is, I see, as a Heritage win.
Mike Johnson with the keeper right there, number 2 for Heritage. 4:35. Here's where timeouts become very important, too. Now you got to utilize your timeouts.
Exactly. Manage your timeouts. And as Coach Freeman mentioned, ball control. They've got Rouser, they've got Mike Johnson, 2 guys that can keep it on the ground, grind out yards, and let that clock run down.
And that would have been a big thorn right there for Heritage with that nice run by Campbell, but he fumbles. 4 minutes left in this ball game. Heritage is in control. 2nd and 9 at their own 9. Johnson. And Johnson spreads it out. That's one thing Hampton does well, spreads the ball real well, but Heritage is doing that tonight. You know, Tommy, you've always had great quarterbacks in Ferguson and Warwick. Let's take a look at this instant replay coming up.
Well, there you go. Cook hands off to Mike Johnson. Johnson, all he's got to do is keep running and hold on to the ball, and Heritage can run this clock out.
Tommy, you talk about Heritage had Foster Broaddus for 3 years at quarterback. A lot of pressure on Jason Cook. A big game for this young man, a senior. He's responded very well tonight against a stingy Hampton defense.
Well, I've seen him improve from the beginning of the game to now the end. You know, he's matured throughout the game.
And Hampton stopping Heritage cold right there on the stop of the play. Number 42, Terry Gray. 14-7. Heritage leading it in the 4th quarter with 3:20 left. The crowd, just a capacity crowd tonight. People just hanging out in the aisles watching the game, on the fence. They're just all over the place.
Standing room only.
They're watching it from behind restaurants and everywhere around Todd Stadium. 2nd and 9 now for Heritage. Heritage is 4-0 in the year, so is Hampton. Fumble. And lucky break, bring up 3rd down situation. Hurricanes do get it. Tommy, 5-0, up at the game against Denby last night. Tell us about that win.
Well, you know, we wanted to just stay basic and try to continue to improve. And I think we did that. There were some moments in there that we made some mistakes, but that's okay.
Instant replay coming up. We'll have your game in 2 weeks against Heritage as well.
Right there you see, center the quarterback. And fortunately for them, they were able to dive on the ball and keep that possession.
Now, if Heritage does not convert here, Hampton will get the ball with 2:20 left. Cook has time from the 15, throws it. It's complete to Larry Davis. That could be the icebreaker right there. Big play. Your key players make the big play. Jason Cook, Larry Davis tonight.
Exactly, and the key to that play, as you see the crowd right there, the key to that play was number 2 for Hampton. The defensive player fell down, as we're going to see in this instant replay right here. Jason Cook rolls out, and like Coach Freeman said, he's improved throughout the game. We're really impressed with this kid. And right there, the catch to Larry Davis. Larry Davis, we haven't heard a lot from him, but that is a big reception right there.
150, Mike Smith is in jeopardy of losing his first game since the Culpeper game. We lost 20-17 in the semis last year at Darling Stadium. Johnson in trouble and stopped the play by number 2 for the Crabbers, Derek Fenner. Tommy, you got it up. The big game, of course, next week, Hampton. Then we got Heritage live right here on Channel 47. Hope to see a big crowd like tonight against Heritage.
Well, this is no doubt a respect to both teams and their records and their programs. And we just hope to be able to add to that excitement.
This kind of reminds you of some of your old rivalries with when you were at Carver.
Carver
before Leroy
Huntington
Keys, when y'all took on Huntington and Thad Madden's team.
Yeah.
Tell us about some of those rivalries when you were in high school.
Well, it was crowds not this large, but you probably thought it was this loud and large. But, you know, speaking of these two great teams that we're watching, we have them the next 2 weeks. And what I see that, you know, Heritage does some great things offensively and defensively, and Hampton does too. And each one of these teams is going to give their best shot. They gave their best shot tonight.
Tommy, if you're Mike Smith right now, what are you thinking? You're down 14-7. You got 2nd and 8 coming up, and you're only have 138 left. What would you do with Marcus Vick and company?
Well, basically, with this situation, not having the ball, see, now we would be on defense. So now the objective is to try to get the ball. However, offensively, then we're going to do what we do best. We're going to throw the football.
And I tell you, Terrell Johnson's special, your running back. Number 20, he is special. All right, 2nd and 8, 138 left in the ball game. Johnson, not much running room. Hampton trying to breathe on with little life they got left in the 4th quarter. Bring up 3rd down situation.
Young fan right there. Heritage running down the clock right now. And Coach Reeman, coming into this game, Hampton was ranked number 2 in the state. Heritage ranked number 7. If Heritage wins this game, they have a legitimate claim to be in the number 1 team in the state. How do your guys, are you keeping your guys focused on week to week, or are you guys already talking about that matchup with Heritage?
We have been looking forward to the Oktoberfest since last spring. You have to understand, the weight program we have is geared for the Oktoberfest, which includes Heritage and Hampton. I don't care which team that we would have to play next Friday. We are prepared mentally and physically to take them on.
Tommy,
Talking will not do this.
Your WARC team is 5-0. You never were 5-0 with Michael Vick. You were 7-3 his senior year. We're going to get your thoughts. What's the difference between this team and the 97 team? 128 left. 3rd and 7 for John Quillen's team. At their own 44, Cook going to run it himself, will not get the first down. Tommy, what's the difference between this team and the 97 team?
Well, I think they were more all around. We have better, stronger linemen, and the weight room has been the big issue.
And you mentioned the lineman, Coach Reeman, coming in. We know Ben Brown used to be on the offensive line. Now he's the fullback, blocking for TJ in that great running game you have. What are your thoughts about the offensive line and some of the guys that are blocking for those great players in the back?
Well, you know, Tyrus Lassiter is a Division I football player, Melvin Massey.
All right, 50 seconds left in this ball game. The clock is rolling. 4th down and 3. And Hampton will have the football at their own 14-yard line with 39 seconds. The clock is still rolling. It stops at 37. You need every precious second here, Nate.
Exactly. 37 seconds to the end of this game, and the score is 14-7. Coach Smith has to reach into his bag of tricks and come out with something right now.
It's never over until it's over, folks. But right now, Hampton's got to go 86 yards to pay dirt. 86 yards, Tommy Riemann. There you see right there the Heritage staff, Paul Macklin right there, the brother of David Macklin. Huge crowd tonight. 1st and 10, Hampton's got the ball, but only 37 seconds remain in regulation. Hampton's got to turn back around and face Warwick next week. While Heritage, they take on Bethel, Warwick, Gloucester, and Woodside. Here's a nice run right there by the Crabbers. Keeping it on the ground is Darylyn Fenner.
Interesting to see them keeping it on the ground. Considering the time and the length of the field that they have to go, I would expect to see Carlos Campbell airing it out.
Yep. And only 19 seconds remain. It'll bring up 3rd down situation. You need a big play here, Tommy.
Well, I think it's obvious, and I think this game is over.
And Hampton will have to rebound against the Warwick Raiders.
Newport News definitely making a statement here tonight.
This is the first time a Hampton team has lost to Newport U School since 1993 when Tom Jacob beat Hampton 13-7 in a game you saw right here on the School System channel. Glad you're with us for this citywide event. Whole city tuning in tonight. 19 seconds. Delay of game on Hampton. A little nervous, huh, Nate?
Exactly. Just another nail in the coffin of Hampton. And as you mentioned that great 93 team, I was on the JV squad of Mitchell that year, and I happened to be at that game, and the electricity that ran through the stadium, that was a great moment. We have the same type of atmosphere here tonight, Greg.
All right, here's a big 3rd down situation. Campbell the shotgun, and incomplete. Heritage stops them cold. Folks, Heritage is going to go to 5-0 if they get this win. Hampton will dip to 4-1. And Mike Smith, the head coach of Hampton since 1971, who rarely goes down in defeat at all, is looking at a 4-1 mark going in against Warwick next week, a hungry Warwick team that got by Denby 34-0.
Exactly. Doesn't get any easier for Hampton next week as they take on Warwick. But as we see, the 13 seconds are about to tick off right now, Greg. I think you definitely have to consider Heritage as being the #1 team in the state after they came out. And the game was only 14-7, but they did what they wanted to on offense and defense against the Hampton Crabbers.
And they're stopping, Tommy, a team that was ranked 14th in the country, the USA Today, the Hampton Crabbers.
Well, I think a lot of that comes from reputation.
Here's the last possible play of the game. Campbell, a safety. What an exclamation point. A safety by number 11 right there, Daryl Blackstock. 16-7. Heritage is going to upset Hampton live on Channel 47.
How fitting, Greg, that play occurred to see Campbell still in the end zone. And Coach Riemann had a point right there. The big thing about Hampton is you can't let yourself be psyched out before the game. This crowd is going wild, but Heritage has made a statement right now. Hampton did not pass the torch. Heritage came in here tonight and took the torch.
If Warwick beats Hampton next week, Hampton might be out of the playoffs for the first time in years. 9 seconds left. 16-7, a safety by the Hurricanes. They're up by 9. They're up 14-0 at halftime. And Nate, they're letting the dogs out now.
Who let the dogs out? Heritage let the dogs out tonight. Congratulations to Coach Quillen. He did a great job tonight with his game plan.
We're going to have a huge matchup in 2 weeks on Channel 47 between Warwick and Heritage. Tommy, you going to be the home team that night against Heritage?
Yes, we would be a home team.
Your attention is going Hampton. I'm impressed how you keep your composure with all the hoopla surrounding Michael Vick and company. Another big win today against Boston College.
The final lap, the Virginia Tech game is 48-34. Tech over Boston College, but also a good showing by Boston College's Matt Hasselbeck, the five-year starter, but Michael Vick and company, as you mentioned, just keep rolling along.
Nate, great job our guys in the truck tonight, too.
They've done a great job all year, and, you know, they just didn't have this. Usually our games are on Friday night. These guys came in on a Saturday night, put in some hard work, and produced the game that you see tonight. Got a great game live, and it only gets better. October 13th, mark on your calendar, Heritage versus Warwick.
Of course, Hampton does take on Warwick next week at Darling Stadium. Hope to see a big crowd here in 2 weeks. It's going to be a classic matchup, Tommy, like the old Carver-Huntington days.
Well,
Mike
you know,
Johnson
it's a
right there.
rivalry, and you can take the record book and throw it out the window. The same as last year. We went 3 overtimes with Heritage, so we'll deal with it when it comes up.
We know. Let's let Heritage have their moment tonight.
Well, there are so many implications on that Heritage Ward game.
It's a replay coming up on that safety by our video production staff. There's Campbell with the shotgun deep in his own territory, Nate.
And once again, Rudy Foy is the first man in there, and they just take him down. Good job by Heritage. But that Heritage Ward game has so many implications. You got the city title on the line. You got, as you see Coach Mike Smith there reacting to his first loss of the season. You got the city title when Heritage takes on Ward. You got possibly playoff positioning going on in that game, and also rankings in the state. So important matchup coming here in 2 weeks.
And Cook needs it. Heritage will win. Heritage upset Hampton. 16-7 here at John B. Todd Field. The Hurricanes are for real.
The Hurricane is touched down here in John B. Todd Stadium, and Hampton got caught up in the storm. Good job. Congratulations to Coach Quillen and the squad. You've earned it. And as we see Coach Smith, you know, he had a well-coached game tonight. Unfortunately, they had some troubles early on and couldn't rebound from that. But we had a great game tonight, and Heritage, all the credit goes to them.
Tommy, John Quillen, hats off to him. He beat Mike Smith here when he was at Denby High School back in 1989, where you were at Manor High School. And, of course, he made another big win over Mike Smith. He is now, Smith is still 3-2 over Quillen, but he'll take that. He'd rather have a win tonight, and Quillen came through with a 16-7 win.
Well, Quillen has proven that he's done a great job as a coach, and he has the experience to do that. And this program he's now building and has built at Heritage speaks for itself.
And same with you, Tommy. You're doing a great job academically and athletically. We'll look forward to seeing that big broadcast in 2 weeks.
Oktoberfest number 2.
Absolutely. Tommy, thanks a lot. Nate, huge win in the history of the Newport News Schools. You look back at the decade of the 90s when you were at Menchville. 1993, we broadcast that game, a showcase event. 1993, 13-7, Menchville beating Hampton. 1998, the Hurricanes, 14-8 in 5 overtimes. And see the excellent sportsmanship over Hampton, and this is another huge win for the Newport News Schools.
Exactly. Newport News Schools have always seemed to establish their reputation, as you see his pandemonium out here. They've always established their reputations by defeating Hampton. That seems to be the stepping stone to greatness. The 93 team that had Macklin and Robert Hunt and Tracy Parker, once they beat that team, those guys were catapulted. This Heritage team tonight has that opportunity. They have the opportunity. Like I said, I believe they should be number 1 in the state after tonight's game. Time will tell how far they go, but tonight was a great victory.
Nate, they only scored 2 points in the second half. That was by safety. The last couple seconds of the fourth quarter, they were up 14-0. Let's recap the scoring. Mike Johnson got a 6-yard run in the first quarter for Heritage. A 1-yard run by Jason Cook were the only touchdowns. And then, of course, the safety for Hampton, they got a 1-yard run by Carlos Campbell in the third quarter, and that was it.
Exactly. Pretty much a defensive struggle tonight, Greg, but you got to take your hats off to both teams. As there you see from our tower cam, the band at halftime, they were playing a lot of the oldie songs. Well, it was turn back the clock tonight for Coach Quillen as he took it back to when Denby defeated Hampton. Used out some of the same game plans that Veer offense. Had a great game tonight. Congratulations to Heritage.
All right, 16-7. We're going to see some instant replays coming up. You see Mike Smith right there talking to his staff, his players. They know there's still 5 games left in the season. They're 4-1. Heritage moves to 5-0. And the Heritage staff, they are happy.
Exactly. It doesn't get any easier for Hampton because, as you mentioned, and as Coach Freeman said, Oktoberfest starts next week.
They see the fans right there. All right, in the booth right now. Glad you're with us. Greg Bicaveras, along with Nate Milton. What a huge win in the history of Newport News tonight. It brings back memory, folks, you might remember, of the Newport News-Hampton rivalries back in the late 60s. But the Newport News Schools came up strong. Heritage beat the number 14 team in the country, Hampton, 16-7, and a huge crowd at John B. Todd Field. What an electrifying night for football, Nate Milton.
Exactly. You had 2 Titans. Hampton, the number 2 team in the state. Heritage, the number 7 team in the state. State. Both were in the top 3 as far as defense and offense in the Peninsula District. They came out. Heritage brought the intensity, the Woo Towers. They had the fans behind them. But Hampton came out, and Hampton had experience behind them. Unfortunately, the youthful exuberance came out, and good job. Heritage came out with a great job tonight.
Let's take a look at some instant replays coming up from the key moments of tonight's ball game. This option right here to Mike Johnson that led to the first touchdown, Nate.
There you see Johnson right there thought he was down, but much like Rasputin, came back from the dead and sprints down the sideline. Unfortunately, at that point in the game, he kind of fell out of bounds, but just a great job tonight by Mike Johnson as well as Jason Cook.
You called the balancing beam. All right, next instant replay coming up. Second touchdown. Cook on the keeper. Nate, he responded big. The focal point was on him tonight. He was vulnerable, and he responded.
Exactly. You mentioned during the pregame, as you see the fans here still standing on their feet, Cook was the key. Hampton was going to key on him. They were going to bring the pain, bring the pressure. But Jason Cook responded, and he's definitely the MVP tonight in my book, along with Mike Johnson, because he stepped up and responded.
You look at the series these teams have played. Right now, you go back, the first game Heritage ever played, they lost to Hampton 67-0. Got beat 48-6 the second game, but ever since 1998 when Kurt Houston was the coach, when they won 14-8 in 5 overtimes, it's been a different Heritage team, and they made the playoffs last year, and they're well on their way again in 2000.
Exactly, different Heritage team, but also a different Hampton team. We see the instant replay going on right here. That was the Hampton touchdown right there, the only touchdown that they had all night. But this is a different Hampton squad. They don't have the superstar like Ronald Curry. But right there, as you see, Heritage, the fans right there.
The principal, Tim Sweeney,
the faculty right there. It's just a great job for the school and a great job for Newport News.
All right, Josh Mangana's with the student player from Heritage.
Hi, this is Josh Mangana reporting live with Mike Johnson, Landon Smith, and Chaz Watkins. Chaz, how did it feel being a starter on the defense against a powerful Hampton offensive line?
It felt good. For years they said that Hampton couldn't be beat, and we came out here, brought them back to the side. We never lost a home game outside. It felt great to come out and beat the Crab no matter what the score was. A victory is a victory.
That's wonderful. We're pleased with your defensive performance. Landon, causing that fumble on Carlos Campbell when that could have been a game-breaking touchdown for the Crabbers. What kind of emotions were going through your body at that time?
I was real scared, but I just thought back to graduating player. It's happened the same thing. Terrence Patrick, he made a great play when we beat Hampton the last time. I just feel like we do a lot of conditioning, and I just ran hard because we don't run for nothing.
That's wonderful, Landon. Mike Johnson ran all over the Crabbers today. Mike, what kind of feelings did you have before the game, and what do you do to prepare for these big games?
Man, I just look at film, study film, work hard in practice, and come out here and execute.
I
did a good job. My offensive line did a good job. They looked out for me, and I got my yardage. They did their job. I did my job, and we won the game. What?
Thanks, Mike. Wonderful athletes, wonderful students for Heritage. Back to you, Greg.
All right, that was Josh Mangana. Great job. And, of course, he interviewed those players. He'll be playing against them October 13th. Nate, great job once again in the booth. Big win. Heritage winning it 16-7.
Huge victory for Heritage. You know, all the hype, all the talk, as you see Mike Smith walking off the field, all the hype that we had before the game. When it came down to it, it was football between the lines, pure and simple, and Heritage just came out. You got to tip your hat to them.
All right, Ted Muller with an interview coming up in just a moment. Let's go to Ted.
Hello, this is Ted Muller reporting for Channel 47 News, and I'm here with Carlos Campbell. So, Carlos, this is a disappointing loss for your team, but what can you and your team do to improve into next week's game?
I'm saying a loss, makes great champions. Basically, I'm saying just come back hard, forget about this just one game. We still got a long season ahead of us. I'm saying just come back and work hard next week. We got another big game against Warwick next week.
And what are your thoughts as you go into the Warwick game next week?
So we got to go on and win. Every game, like I said earlier in the season, every game is a big game for them. So it's a process of gelling and getting better as a team.
I wish you good luck next week in Warwick, and you played a good game tonight, brother. This is Ted Muller reporting for Channel 47. Back to you, Greg.
All right. All right, Ted, I want to say one thing. Hampton lost their first game in 1995 and went on to win 40 straight games, including 4 state championships. Good job by Ted Moeller talking to Carlos Campbell. All right, so for the entire crew tonight, we've seen a monumental upset for Nate Milton, Paul Cummings, and the great staff in the truck. I'm Greg Bicaveras, where once again the final score, it was the Heritage Hurricanes 16 and the Hampton Crabbers 7. We'll talk to you from John B. Todd Field. Thank you.